niggas on it. They used to bait me on me and my views, but now niggas on it. I used to tell them I'ma have me a show, but now niggas on it. Her homies on it, your homies on it. Y'all's the hater and all of my moves, but now niggas on it. They used to debate me on me and my views, but now niggas on it. I used to tell them I'ma have me a show, but now niggas on it. Her homies on it, your homies on it. Realest podcast.
What it do? Realest Podcast Ever. We back. It's your boy C Diddy.
I don't know what the fuck going on.
I think I need to redo that. My energy was bad. What up? What up? It's your boy C Diddy. We back, man. Realest Podcast Ever, episode 208. We back at the Fantasy Factory, smoking hookah, shooting the shit, man.
Dan's hookah is always perfect.
Yeah, I'm here with my guys doing our thing, man. Dan has a mic today.
I'm back.
He's back.
I'm back.
I was being lazy, you know what I'm saying? Dan's back. I'm going to just leave his mic here. That way I ain't got to bring it back up and down the steps.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That makes all the sense in the world. Because anytime we need the other mics,
we never have.
We'll be with him anyway.
Yeah, right.
So don't even matter. But yeah, we here, man. 4th of July weekend, working on a weekend, working on a holiday as usual. You know, we haven't really missed no weeks, man. You know, despite everything else we had going on and trying to do and all of that. And for that, I'm proud of us. I'm gonna give us some round of applause. Through the tour, through tour changes, through Patreon migrations and integrations and all of that. We stand pat and we still do what we need to do, man. Shout out Tyron Barnes. That interview is out right now. Impact, and it's out on YouTube right now. Go check that out if you haven't yet. Phenomenal interview, man. And that's our first episode on our TRPE sports platform that we're introducing. Just not just talking about sports. Like, it's not sports center, but it's like sports centered stories and people that, come from that world. And, either are still in it or around it and, making waves, man. And we want to highlight those stories as well. So we created another platform in order to do so. And so far, man, the response has been phenomenal. Thank y'all for all of the feedback. All of the long thank you messages and everything y'all have sent us. Y'all have sent Tyron, man. It's been dope, man. And I just love how whenever we introduce something new, y'all are receptive to it and open to it, and y'all vibe with us and y'all use us as a trusted source in order to get y'all through y'all work weeks, provide information, and tell these these amazing stories that all these different people have, man. And that's pretty much what it is. How y'all gentlemen doing?
I'm
sober finally.
Yeah, Dan's sober. I've been sober though.
Yeah, Dan was down yesterday. He was like, he was recording schedule. That Dan was like, not today.
Yeah. I'm wearing sunglasses in the house.
Yeah, in the crib.
Yeah.
There's too much sun coming through here, even though the shades is drawn. Yeah. But we worked through all of that, man, and we we still made it.
I got another shout out because we didn't do it on the actual live feed. The Office.
Shout out to The Office.
We
man.
talked about it on the Patreon.
A lot of claps going on.
Shout out to them, man. Good brothers. Nasir, Shizzy, Lynn. Is Lynn? Is that his real name?
Cullen.
All right. I knew it wasn't Linzel. Ain't nobody that freaky. Yeah. All right. Who else is over there?
Showing.
I said Shizzy.
Feek.
Who else? Sticks. There you go. Yeah. Shout out to them, man. They
had an amazing live show last week with them brothers, man. It was excellent. We sold out the Knitting Factory in Brooklyn, which we actually found out after the show that they're closing in August. So it was dope to, be able to make our mark and do our thing over there before they, they close their doors. It's a legendary venue. A lot of people have played over there. They got a full complex, bunch of different rooms and stuff. So shout out to the Knitting Factory. Shout out to our tour manager, Veli, who, helped us throughout the process, and booking a lot of these venues using his relationships from the music world in order to, facilitate our first tour. And I was telling him, I was like, bruh, no more tour. I was like, it's so much this and that. He was like, nah, it's like, that's how it is your first time out, but, you get used to it. So I think, going forward, obviously, the live show is a big part of the experience and the crux of enjoying this podcast. And it's like a celebratory moment for us and for the audience to come together, do some dope shit, you know, connect, whatever. You know, people are meeting each other through our live shows and stuff like that. So that's been phenomenal. I don't know what the heck is going on with that. That's been you know, that's been dope, man. So I think going forward, maybe not so much like a full blown tour as like we'll do spot dates and one-offs like in various places that people want to see us, man. In recent weeks, our listenership has blown up in like the South. Like Alabama, Mississippi, Missouri, which is like Midwest/South or whatever like that. But shout out to any new listeners out there that just recently got turned on to the podcast through whatever means you got turned on to it. We appreciate you, man. Walk with us on this journey. If y'all not familiar with our Patreon content, we have a lot of it on our main feed, so y'all could go back, check out some of the Patreon
Probably
content.
just got Wi-Fi that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, so y'all could go through, you know, some of the Patreon previews, the short form and the long form ones that we got, you know, on the feed. Y'all can check those out. Get familiar with our Patreon, and if y'all like it, go through, sign up. Patreon.com/official TRPE.
Let's discuss Patreon.
Yes, we have
Let's
to.
do that because
It's been different the last few days.
yeah,
So we announced over the last 2 months
right.
that we were upgrading the tiers. And we wanted to make it a clean, even break. So literally middle of the year, which July signifies the middle of the year because it's 7th to the 12th month. So middle of the year, we migrated all of the tiers upward on Patreon, which are going to give everybody more access, more content, and specifically on like the VIP tier, which is our top tier, give people the ability to literally just at any given time give us topical stuff, content, and things like that y'all want to hear about because we want to make the user experience better. Now, even though we've announced it, put posts up, talked about it on the show, etc., I didn't necessarily give people the technical way in order to do this, which was a mistake.
Right, because you was kind of where I was at, where it was just like these old tiers were going to just disintegrate, and, you know, you would have the new tiers. But what happened is, if you were on the 2021, which was the VIP tier, that tier is gone, so it turns you into just a donation.
Right.
So now you're not actually on a tier.
Yeah, you just here.
You just around.
Yeah, you just existing.
You just a guy. What's his name?
Jag.
You just a guy. You have to go in. You go to my memberships. Go to edit membership. It's a little pencil. You go to my memberships, and then you click what tier you want to do. Whether Ultra VIP. So a lot of people were they send out the money for the VIP normally, but weren't getting the content. So people don't even know. It's like shows that because it's under the Ultra VIP tier.
And I've gone back and edited the tiers to where now it reflects the new tiers where you migrate and you don't lose none of the past 113 or whatever plus episodes. So we've made the internal change, but we didn't necessarily tell y'all how to get where y'all going.
Right.
So like
I got an earful from Kev yesterday.
Yeah. So like Matt said,
I'm like, nigga, I'm eating right now.
So like Matt said, you want to log into Patreon. You want to hit the account tab.
Right.
You want to go to manage membership and then edit your pledge. There should be a drop down menu that allows you to select if you want to go up in tier, down in tier, whatever the case may be. The three new tiers are there, which are the 2022 donation, the Nation Reloaded tier, which is the middle tier, and then the Ultra VIP tier, because now we're offering 10 additional shows a month, two of which are user-generated content or whatever like that, you know, on the Patreon, and then, you know, just trying to get back to giving y'all more resources, more credit information, and just kind of like, you know, pulling y'all coat to different trends and stuff like that we see, and just making the Patreon that much more impactful to where it's like, it's not just us talking at y'all, it's, you know, us kind of like collectively having a conversation because it's stuff that y'all care about too. So that's that. So if you haven't migrated your tier yet, today is July 4th. Go in, follow the instructions I just said, which is log into Patreon, hit the account tab, manage membership, edit pledge, select your new membership so that you can get all the back content and then all of the new content that we're putting out going forward. Because people literally were like, yo, y'all ain't put an episode out in like a week and a half. And I'm like,
that's wrong.
That's wrong.
That's wrong.
Our bad. That's wrong. So, so do that. So all of the, you know, if you've already been charged for the month, all it'll do is charge you the difference. If you've already paid for a yearly membership, depending upon when you did your yearly membership, it will credit you for which you haven't used yet for the remainder of your yearly membership. So, most of the people that I seen were, migrated to the yearly membership around like March or April once we started offering that. And then also for the yearly memberships, we're offering a larger discount than we were before. So before it was like 11%. Now I think it's like 13 or 14% off for the yearly membership to try to offset some of that cost while still giving y'all that additional benefit and the value of getting all this extra content going forward. So is that everything Patreon related?
Please sign up for the Patreon. Yeah. Let's add that, please.
Yeah, there's roughly what I noticed in, throughout this whole process is that there's roughly probably 700 accounts on our Patreon right now. Not all of which are active. So when y'all go on Patreon and y'all see the number or whatever, that's active accounts, people that literally are paid up or whatever for that month. So some people, migrate off of the Patreon. Some people don't migrate off. They just pause their membership or whatever, which you also can do. Pause their membership or what have you. And then some people just don't have money in that account, so it blocks you off. So whenever you put money back on that particular account that you signed up with, it'll let you back in. But overall, the response for our Patreon in a year and a half or whatever that we had it has been phenomenal. We've had tremendous growth. We're still, once we, lock in at that 500 and stay there, we're still going to give away $1,000. Once we hit 1,000 Patreons, we're still going to give away $5,000. So we just still have different stuff in place that we're going to do, to give back to the audience, when and if, these benchmarks get reached. So tell a friend to tell a friend. I know people that got 2-3 Patreon accounts. Shout out, Rich Philly, the boss. A couple other people, have multiple accounts. People that have yearly accounts. If you have a yearly account, be on the lookout for merch coming to you. If you've already provided me with, your address and your sizes and all that, be on the lookout for a merch package coming to you pretty much any day now, as those have, already been sent out. So I think that's pretty much everything Patreon related. And we're going to be also on Patreon, we're going to be doing more video generated content, and a lot of these newer interviews are going to be going directly to Patreon. Not like, it's going to go to Patreon for a week and then we're going to put it on the main feed. Like, this is going to be specific stuff that's for Patreon only. So we're stepping up our collective game on that. And part of the reason why we wanted to just get through this tour and get it over with is so that we can just focus on being the best content creators that we can and just keep pumping this content out to where you're getting, 3, 4, 5 pieces of content from TRPE every single week between the various platforms.
Bingo.
So that's that. Again, shout out to the listenership. Numbers overall been going up on the main feed, so shout out to that. Keep sharing, keep spreading the movement. And then our social media numbers have been cracking, have been outrageous, have been cracking, man. We got a piece of media right now on TikTok that has catapulted us from being non-existent on TikTok to where I was out Friday night, and V, who's now the new manager of Space, shout out my guy V, who used to manage Roar and Mirage, where he was like, yo, I'm Indian and I'm seeing y'all shit. Yeah. Like, he's like, so yeah, y'all are like big viral on TikTok. I think that John is at like 193,000 plays or something like that right now.
It's closing in on 200K.
Yeah, it's going absolute crazy, and it's boosted all of our other videos and all of that. There's going to be some more TikTok generated stuff popping up on there pretty much probably today. Like our clips from the Tyron Barnes interview, different stuff like that. And then some older clips that we had that didn't necessarily get the like that they deserve. We're going to be putting those on TikTok also. So be on the lookout for all of that.
How are you feeling?
Not bad, man. Like, this has been, I was saying the other day, I was having a bunch of conversations with a bunch of people recently, and I was just saying, like, yo, I just really feel, more at peace right now than I have in a long time. And even through, like, various life stuff, trials and tribulations, trying to start a new business, trying to continue to scale this business, putting all my ducks in a row to be able to, move to Miami in the fall and all of that. I'm just so locked in just on my purpose and just not distracted.
I've been looking at like spots the last 2 weeks, and it's just like I got like a list of Jones where it's just like, So it's like, so I'm just so locked in and on my purpose that I'm just like, yo, I'm just at peace, and I'm just refusing to let anything disturb what I'm trying to do.
So, if I curse you out in the last month or so, you deserved it because you're trying to disturb my peace or bringing some nonsense into my life, but I still love you nonetheless. But, I'm just like, I just feel like I'm a man on a mission right now, and I'm just like, really working really hard and busting my ass to try to, make sure that I'm doing my part, and contributing to everything that we're collectively trying to do, and then, like, my individual goals as well. So, I'm great. I'm in a very good space right now, man. Rolly prices are dropping. Shout out to that. Yeah. AP prices is dropping.
Would you say celebrate good times? Come on, like real shit.
So everything. Life is good, man. You know what I'm saying? Anybody out there? People been hitting me up recently asking about like watches and stuff. If you're trying to buy a watch, wait till September. Everything's gonna be on sale. Trust me.
Yeah. Another shout out, man. Shout out Dunbar and Kev, man. They're good guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like Lee the other day was like, I really enjoy your circle of people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She was like, Dan is fucking hilarious and cool as shit. Dunbar, like, it's just, it's good to be in a space, like you said, where it's like doing what need be done.
Right.
Living purposefully, enjoying the things that you have going on. It's a cool spot to be in.
I just think that, when you reach the point in this simulation where you are like really driven and really focused, opportunities beget other opportunities. We were just talking about how, potentially we got another business in the Carolinas that we might be in position to be
Shout
able
out to Jules.
Yeah, shout out to Jules for that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like because everybody's locked in on like trying to do shit and, create economies and businesses.
And it's just, I thought it was crazy that it's like Jules is dealing with some shit and still has enough wherewithal to be like, yo, I got another play for you know what I'm saying? Like, so, shout out to bro. We're gonna start on a low note.
Yes, we are.
The
first inaugural fucking up the bag award.
Ra said he wants to do a fuck my life up museum where he just does like exhibits based off of people who just destroyed shit and did shit terribly, and he's like, I want to do that for the kids, man. You know what I'm saying? Like
don't do this shit.
Yeah, like come in here for an hour.
And it's free.
Yeah. Come in here for an hour and just look at how motherfuckers went the wrong way about the right shit. Yeah. And me and Jules had like an hour-long conversation where I was telling him about specifically Ja Morant and Miles Bridges with a lot of the nonsense that the two of them have been on in the last, 5 to 6 months, where it's just like, it goes back to what Kev was saying on the Patreon episode about the rules of engagement for black men. Like, us as black men, it's like no matter what is going on, there's like this path of trial and tribulation that you like put yourself in and go, and it just...
We will revert back to dumb shit. Like all else fails.
And I think what it is a lot of people, especially nowadays, don't really like. Perfect example. You know how your Twitters kept getting deleted, right? Mm-hmm. So now you're in the weird peculiar spot where it's like, can't nobody go back and pull up none of your old terrible tweets because they don't exist. The pages are literally just gone. We don't live nowadays the way we lived back in the day.
Absolutely not.
Like Rasheed Wallace. Rasheed Wallace is now an assistant coach with the Lakers.
Got a street named after him.
You see what I'm saying? Rasheed Wallace is a legend. Is he in the Hall of Fame yet?
Hall of Fame. He should be if he's not.
Yeah. He most likely is going to be. Let me look in just to make sure. But it's like Rasheed Wallace and Damon Stoudemire had a perception of being ridiculous niggas when they was in Portland.
They were called the Jailblazers.
That's what they were. Allen Iverson is a fucking legend. Allen Iverson got into nonsense all the time. Yes. That situation with his wife, you cannot do that shit now.
Allen Iverson got kicked out of Fridays. It's a chain restaurant.
See what I'm saying?
You can't come here anymore because you create too much raucous for our clientele and our fan base, and we have families here trying to enjoy their triple play or whatever the fuck is the appetizer, Joe. You can't come here anymore. All right, cool. I'm going across the street to Hula Hands.
Going to Hula Hands and do the same shit.
Get kicked out of there.
And I just look at it where it's like, this Miles Bridges news, it's like you could see it coming.
Yes.
You could see the writings on the wall. And that's what I was trying to explain to Jules a couple weeks ago. And it's funny, I was saying this shit a couple weeks ago. It's like, when you start doing this dumbass shit, it doesn't get better.
Yeah, like it gets worse.
It gets worse. And then sure enough, we had this issue, situation pop up this week. Sheed isn't in the Hall of Fame yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Well, we got to get Sheed in the Hall of Fame. We got him in Street. We got to get him in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. But it's like, looking at Miles Bridges' trajectory the last 6 months or so, it's like, all right, your first mistake was you put a mixtape out. That was your first mistake. And that's usually the beginning of these athletes' downfall. It's like, other than Dame, it's like, who's done it responsibly, because he's just doing it as a hobby. He's not trying to, like, be a rap sensation.
Right.
So it's like, and he raps better than all of y'all, by the way.
Let's not forget that part.
Dame is a phenomenal rapper, but he's, he just chilling. He in Portland, he in Oakland, he taking care of his family, he getting his paper, mind his goddamn business.
Probably going to the Nike store 2 times a week.
That's about it. There ain't much to do in Portland.
Right.
He chilling. So with that being said, it's like, all right, so first thing you did, you put a mixtape out. The second thing you did was you signed a record deal with Sada Baby. So that was your second mistake that you made. Right. Your third mistake was you posted a cup of lean with a joint, which I forgot about the joint because the lean itself was so jarring. Right. I forgot you had the pre-roll right there next to it. Right. And then you said it was pink lemonade. So that was bad. And then the fourth joint, which is the worst of all of them, because like you said, rarely does this stuff get better. You allegedly, we have to say allegedly because we weren't there, we don't know, but the allegation is so bad that it doesn't matter if you did it or not at this point, because it's like, why are you involved in this? Right. The fourth thing that you did is allegedly you ragged out and assaulted your 110-pound baby mom to the point where she was like, yeah, I'm going to the media with this. Right. Yeah, I'm going to the police with this. And now you have formally been charged with felony battery in, the city of Los Angeles, state of California. And then all of this took place literally 2 days before the opening of free agency, where you were eligible for a 5-year, $173 million rookie max extension with the Hornets, who were clearing out cap space and trying to figure out who the fuck we getting rid of in order to pay your ass. Right. And guess what? Michael Jordan don't pay nobody. Yeah. So for him to say, nah, that's my youngin', I'm going to do right by him and make sure, you became an integral part of our offense. You and Melo was together as electric. I'm going to make sure that you get paid, young brother.
I had a viral John from a couple years ago when Kimba was there. And remember they got rid of Kimba. Yeah. And it was Jordan sitting there talking with a white guy, like laughing, smoking cigars. And it was like, Kimba told me he deserves a max contract. I said, the only max you niggas deserve is a super max. And it's just like, yeah, like Jordan was about to give you a max, dog.
Yes.
A max.
Because that's how much money is in the NBA now. Like
right.
The
NBA is just different.
It just prints money. And I said this on Patreon, I believe, last week. The league is about to have an influx of another $30 to $40 billion in the next 3 seasons between the 2 expansion teams at an average price of about $4.5 to $5 billion apiece. So you got the 2 franchise teams, the one in Seattle, shout out to the Supersonics, and then the one in Vegas, and then the new TV money is about to get renewed where basketball right now, you got basketball on like 3 days a week. This shit about to be on 9 days a week. Because that's how big a business it is, and it's an international game. It's the only sport other than soccer that is a truly international game where you have people in China and Lithuania and the Emirates and all of that shit that want to see basketball because it's a beautiful game. And it's been regulated in such a way where all the beauty has been displayed of the game as far as the fundamentals, the shooting, the passing, finishing at the rim and all of that shit. It's so much more of a free-flowing game than it was in the 90s that everybody wants to see it. Yeah. And you decide on the eve of free agency, I'm knocking this bitch head between the refrigerator and the toaster. Yeah. You're bugging.
Yeah, when you try to look at things like the devil's advocate, like looking at it from both sides, and it's just like, You want to say, because we're all motivated by money, and sometimes, like, money is the root of evil. Like, money keeps people in certain spots. And you want it. When I first saw it, my initial thought is like, damn, why would she drop this, like, that day? Like, literally, like, we talking about, like, 29 hours before the free agency shit opened. And, the Hornets were already going to send him the qualifying offer. You know what I'm saying? And then I saw the pictures. Then I saw the shit with her son. And I'm just like, their son. And I'm just like, damn.
Yeah, some situations you can't even play devil's advocate because
Yeah.
it makes you look like an asshole.
You makes you
even
look
trying to
like a
argue the
fucking
other side
idiot.
of the point.
And you know, she bruises all over, a broken nose. You know, she got a joint up under her underarm.
Yeah.
That's the like you know, my grandpa told me this.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
yeah.
the mob. That's the mob joint.
Yeah. You beat him with phone books.
Hang you up with the slab of meat.
Yeah.
Punch you under the arm and shit.
And it's just like, God damn, Miles. Like
It's a bad joint.
Like, this a terrible joint. Like, the last thing you want to be booked for in 2022 with the way the world is working now is felony domestic abuse. There's only one thing worse than that, and that's some hate crime towards a trans or a gay shit.
Yep.
Like, but for you to be booked for felony domestic abuse the same week free agency opens when you up for a fucking max, it ain't even like you got paid last year and it's like, all right, well, we'll figure it out, whatever.
Now they trying to find a way to void your contract, and they gonna have to go through the CBA and the lawyers and this and this. No, you didn't get paid yet.
And it was like every day it just got worse. I see the videos, I see the pictures. I'm like, damn. Then it's like, what was the joint? He actually got charged. Felony domestic abuse. I'm like, that ain't good. Then the next day, yesterday, Hornets pulled qualifying offer. You were unrestricted free agent.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. All that shit with Melo, y'all. Yeah, you got to figure it out.
And it's not the 90s. It's not the
No.
early 2000s even where it's like you're afforded the benefit of the doubt. We just seen Deshaun Jackson go through this shit where an allegation is the same as being convicted. And it's like, you know, in his case, he got 66 allegations against him, but of the 24 that were presented for criminal, charges or whatever, it didn't meet the
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson. I'm
said
sorry.
Jackson.
Deshaun Watson. Sorry, DJ. But yeah, it didn't.
But even D-Jack, he went through the allegation. Remember the whole gang shit? And it's just like, yeah, you a gang member. He's like, that's young Chris. What the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like allegation is just as damning nowadays.
Yeah, it's essentially the same. You know what I'm saying? Because they gonna cover the allegation, they not gonna cover the exoneration. No. They didn't do it with Deshaun Watson. It was just like 24 women criminally charged and blah, 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 goes to the grand jury, gets dismissed, and it was like a liner note. It was like some little small fucking blog out of like Houston broke that story, and then it got a little bit of traction from there, and then it was like...
I think it's crazy that in the midst of that, Deshaun Watson still got a fully guaranteed $200 million contract. That was nuts. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Cleveland Browns, he told the Cleveland Browns, I do not want to come there. Then he said, we'll fully guarantee everything. He said, hold on one second. Let me get my agent on.
Yeah. We see what LeBron said there's some good breakfast places out there. Like, real shit.
DJ Steph Floss, I've heard good things about him.
Yo. But yeah, man, Miles Bridges,
he's going in the Fuck My Life Hall of Fame.
Him and Ja
shit is more like a nuisance.
A nuisance. Bingo. That's a perfect word for it. It's just him being a nuisance. He's not like criminal.
Yeah.
Like once you make the crossover into criminal, you're tripping.
And I've talked about this on the show months ago where I was saying like, yo, young black men need to understand that you're not going to be afforded the same benefit of the doubt and the same luxuries as, young men of other ethnicities in the event that you do some bullshit. And ultimately, like, your pattern that starts off as like nuisance shit and mischief, once it leads into crime, they're going to fucking prosecute your ass. Like, it ain't going to be no, oh, well, maybe, well, how come, and this and this. If you did something, they're going to get to the bottom of it and figure out. And at the end of the day, NBA security, NFL security is like the fucking mob. It's like the FBI. Like, they ain't guessing. Once they get to the bottom and run their own internal investigation, they going to know exactly what you did, exactly who you was with, what time they're going to know everything. Because they got former fucking state police and private eyes and all of that shit running their security. Shout out my man Big Jack. He was doing, I think he still do security for the Washington Wizards. Like, for years, it's like, yo, if you did something, they know you did it. They not guessing. At that point, it's either like, all right, we're going to roll with you. If you are big enough of an asset where we're going to roll with you and try to squash it, or we just going to leave you hanging out to dry. And in this situation, the Hornets had no choice but to distance themselves from this nigga because, like you said, this is the second worst thing you could be charged with in the world. Like, this is as bad as it gets, man. And it just sucks that it's just like he didn't have the presence of mind to say, you know what? I'm not engaging in this. I'm not participating in this. I'm just going to remove myself.
Domestic abuse is insane. Like, it's crazy. It just is. It's one of them things where it's just like, I I say it all the time. I was in a situation where I had a knife pulled on me.
Yeah.
And I got out of that. Just, yo, like, I never once was like, I'm a body beat this bitch. Like, it just, so I personally don't understand it. You know what I mean? I can't make no reason for it. I can't make no mulligan for the shit. It's just, it's 100% uncalled for. You drawing. And that's just it.
Yeah, and I think at this point in the game, it's like you gotta put certain controls in place to protect these young men from themselves. So where it's like, yo, you might need 24/7 security from the draft till the fucking free agency moratorium closes, to where it's like, if you are gonna get into some dumb shit, you ain't gonna do it when your money on the line. You're gonna do it afterwards, or whatever the fucking case may be, because it's just like, I'm sure he had a whole team of niggas around him that is literally waiting on this money to come through, because they getting rollies and Hellcats. Yeah. And it's like, at no point did any of them niggas be like, hey, yo, you shouldn't go there, or you shouldn't do. Like, however the situation started, it ended with you beating the shit out of this woman, and it's just like, the whole path back in reverse doesn't matter at that point, because you changed the trajectory of the interaction. And you got to be responsible for yourself as a man. You got to be responsible for the people around you, but they also got to be responsible for you as well. And if they not going to get you out of doing some super stupid shit, it's like, why are these niggas around? They just smoking your weed up, drinking your lean up, fucking your leftovers, eating your leftovers, and it's just like, you gonna get into some bullshit, and it's just like, oh yeah, I don't know why that nigga did this shit.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's crazy. That's all niggas got for you is damn, that's crazy. So I'm not getting a Hellcat Durango? No, nigga.
Now they trying to kick it with Mello. You know
like, this shit is, it's all bad, man. And it's just like, yo, this is legendarily stupid shit. Let's put this in financial perspective. You just gave up 17.3% of $1 billion. Because you wanted to beat your baby mama up. You are an asshole. If I had
17% of $1 billion.
If I had 173, if I had 7 or 3 million coming, ain't a nigga on earth or a woman on earth that's gonna get me to whoop some ass. I'm not doing it.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
I don't even care. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Miles tripped out bad, man. It's like, there's no excuses to be made for him. There's no, like, well, what if, like, there is none of that. Like, some shit is just like, you shouldn't find yourself in there.
$173 million. We over here trying to start a business, and we got a projection. When you did the projections, we did it because we did an operating agreement and a business plan. It's like, we just trying to make $2 million in a year.
Yes. As a unit.
As a conglomerate.
You one nigga setting up to make 173 over the next 5 years.
We talking about $2 million in a year. Dan already showed me the shit he buying. Shit.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get this condo first, and then I'm gonna upgrade.
Yeah, because I'm gonna put the whole wall of leaves. That way they can't see me from the other unit on the balcony. Dan the other day was like, I gotta get the X7. I gotta get the X7 M50. I'm like, have you seen the M60? He was like, no, I haven't. I showed him the new video. He's like, oh, she went in his phone. Delete M50, added M60 to this shit. Put that in the notes. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah, we talking about a couple mil as a unit. And, you know, I feel good about it. I feel great about it. It's like, yeah, that's a good thing. Like, me and Kev had like a conversation about like just, you know, trajectory of money in your life and this and the third. It's just like, dog, we all Southwest niggas, essentially. Me, you, Kev, Rob, Jules, like we all, and it's just like, dog, we don't get to places where people just have like millions of dollars at their disposal. So it's like, you, and you know, he's from Flint, Michigan.
Yeah.
Like, you from Flint, like Flint, Michigan.
The bottom of the bottom.
The bottom of it. You know, Floyd from Flint.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? No, Floyd from Grand Rapids, close to Flint. Like, you from Flint, Michigan. You go to Michigan State. He had an okay college career. I think he went like, I want to say he went 10th or 11th in the draft.
Yeah, he was a lottery pick.
He was a lottery pick for sure. Yeah, late lottery pick. 11th, 12th, some shit like that. I can't think about it straight off the bat. Let me go back. You were
disciplined enough to put the work in year over year to get better every year, to where you became the focal point of the offense, because LaMelo Ball is a real traditional point guard and a distributor. So it's like
12th pick.
Yeah. So it's like you became their focal point of the offense. You averaged 20.7 points, like 9 rebounds and 3-4 assists, whatever the fuck this year. You had an amazing year.
And me personally, I hate him on the court. I bet on him like 4 times. Every time I was betting him, if I bet his over, he's under. If I bet his under, he's over. I bet him that he had 4 straight games where he did not hit a 3-pointer. So I bet his under at 2.5. That nigga had 5 threes that game. What the fuck?
Oh, this nigga Matt bet.
Oh, Matt bet. Right. And it's just like, you right. 17% of $1 billion damn dollars.
And you're a young man. Guess what? He was going to get another one. Long as he do the same shit he was doing, he didn't have to get better. If you just do the same shit you was doing this year, for the next 5 years, you get another one of those at an annual raise, I think, of like 8.6% a year or some shit like that.
I seen a nigga the other day. He was in the barbershop. He was going off about the money with the NBA. Like, this shit don't make no sense. Like, these young niggas, they just get this. They getting all this fucking money. Like, I don't understand it. And it's just like, I do. They play in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? You applied to fucking U.S. Airways. They didn't apply to that shit. Like, the NBA is that, like, it's like being mad at a doctor who's a heart surgeon that only works on Tuesdays and makes $2.4 million a year. It's like, that's what the fuck he decided to do with himself.
And like that doctor, they forego, a lot of these guys have foregone their childhood, they foregone their social life, they forego their teenage years because
this is why they have so many problems acclimating to regular fucking life
because they not regular people. Like, they don't do regular people shit. They not just kicking it with the homies. When they are, they training for basketball, for tournaments, for AAU, for fucking college auditions and shit like that. Like, these are the top of the top athletes in the world, and they're compensated based on their industry because the market will bear what it will bear. So if the market says every young nigga that fucking average over 20 points per game get a rookie max extension for 173 to 231, that's the game.
No one's mad at Joe Rogan for getting $93 million from Spotify.
And it actually turned out it was double.
Yeah, double. Yeah.
That was the reported. That was the guaranteed salary. There were benchmarks in there too that drove it up to $250 million.
Nobody's mad at Jay-Z for getting $500 million from the champagne. The
Armand de Brignac.
Armand de Brignac. Like, no one's mad at that because that's what the market fucking bear. Like, this makes all the sense in the world. No one's mad at Cooper Kupp for getting his money. No one's mad at Tiger Woods for making $1 billion through all of his scandal and nonsense. Because I'm Tiger fucking. I'm not Rory fucking McIlroy. I'm Tiger Woods.
Yeah, I'm the reason why we're all here.
Chris Rock has a fucking top 25 Billboard single. Chris Rock. We're in the song. He says Tiger Wood y'all, Tiger Wood y'all. You imagine if he'd have been like John Daly, y'all. Like, it would have made no fucking sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's like certain people just, you command that. And that, that's just real. It's like you in that arena, that's what the fuck it's going to be. That's John Wall. John Wall got bought out for his contract. He was supposed to get, $47 million or whatever it was?
He said, you take 6.5 off of that.
6.5 off. Goes to the fucking Clippers. You know what he signs for? 6.5 a year. Get off my bread, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, dog, you can't get mad at the market bearing.
And that's from essentially, like, Houston's not a small market. I don't want to get it fucked up. But as far as in NBA terms, they are a small market because they haven't won since Harden. They haven't won shit since Harden left as far as, like, playoff appearances, games, et cetera, et cetera. So the revenue isn't pouring into the building. And Tillman Fertitta is notoriously one of the cheapest owners in the league, but he's still in a financial position to give a nigga 40.6 to go away.
Yeah, leave me alone.
I'm tired of seeing you, even though I told you don't come to the facility.
Right.
Go away.
Yeah.
So now he's about to go to a fucking contender, a team that already was 10-11 deep, and now he might be starting over Reggie Jackson.
Real shit.
He's only 31.
Yeah. And it's just like Ross said it best, was like, yo, I gave the Clippers future out on the fucking podcast, and it's just like, bruh, the Clippers got their point guard. Like, real shit. Look out.
Which everybody's been saying they was missing the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm to the point where it's like, because I love John Wall so much, and I like Kawhi a lot, I wouldn't even care if Paul George stupid ass won a championship this year. I wouldn't even care. I
ain't gonna hold you. I changed my everything with Paul George once his leg came off.
I liked him before that, though.
No, I'm just saying, like,
that was my
people kind of like gave Paul George a lot of like shit.
Yeah.
And I never really understood it because like, yo, Paul George, when they was on that Pacer team, he was the catalyst. Like Paul George and them game, he took Bron and D Wade like into the deep waters almost by himself with fucking Lance Stevenson and
Roy Hibbert.
Fucking Hibbert. Real shit. So it's just like, yo, and then, you know, to go through what he went through, and then his leg literally came off. No bullshit. Like, it detached. That joint was not on no more. And to go in and get that shit repaired and make his way back, and then you watched it this past year where it's like, Paul George came back to, like, pre-leg coming off Paul George, and they just didn't have Kawhi. But it's like, Paul George, he still has signs of, like...
Yeah.
If the funniest shit was the first game, when Paul George came back, Ra has a theory that when high usage players come back off of injury, you want to go against them because they're high usage people. They're just not going to be in the flow of it. Yeah. So Paul George for that first game back, his over under was at 20.5. Rob was like, yeah, he's not getting 21 points tonight. His over under for threes that night was 3 threes. Rob was like, you can forget that. Paul George came out in that first half. He was 1 for 11. With fucking 4 points. And it's just like, man, I picked it. I think, did you have it done? We all had it. It was like, man, it's a beautiful pick. Paul George hit 6 threes in that second half and finished with 35. I go to text Rod. That shit was like, notifications turned on. I called his house. Right. He answered the phone. Was like, man, leave me the fuck alone. I was wrong. What the fuck you want? But it's just like, yeah, man, like, Paul George really came back. And it's just like, I fucks with Paul George. So it's like, yeah, they got John Wall. And it's just like, let's do this real quick. The NBA this year is going to be insane. It's going to be nuts. This free agency shit is crazy, dog. It's insane, yo.
Everybody's stacking up.
Everybody, yo, it almost feels like it's more players in the league.
It's like, is it more than 450?
Dog, where the fuck did all these niggas come from? Let's start at the top. Kevin Durant.
KD went out.
KD, in my opinion, I don't have all the answers, but in my opinion, when I do a top 10, I got KD around 7th or 8th all time. I think he's that good. I think Kevin Durant is really one of the top 10 best players.
I agree.
I personally, and this is even including like Jordan and them.
Oh, yeah. Like, get Larry Bird out of here. Get Bill Russell out of here. Like, it's like I've never seen a guy at 7 foot get the fit, fucking play stellar defense, block the fucking shot, take the ball, bring the ball up, shoot a 35-foot three, come back, do the same shit again, come back to the 37-foot three. Like he's unreal.
Kevin Durant, the basketball court is what, 94 feet?
Yeah.
Kevin Durant I'm going to say half court. I'm going to go there. I'm going to say at 47 feet, he instantly becomes unguardable. Yeah, like if he crosses the half court, there's really not much you can do. He just has to miss.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
We saw it in the finals against the Raptors. He out there on one leg just doing whatever he wanted to do.
You saw it against the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals, dog, where it was just like, like Rob said it, like, yo, that was the scariest moment of my life. Rob was like, I'm sitting there courtside next to fucking Travis Scott and Emmanuel Sanders. Yeah, Emmanuel Sanders. Rob's like, I'm sitting there. Rob like, yo, I got $35,000 on this fucking game. Rob like, I got the Bucks in this shit for 35 racks, dog. He's like, when KD hit that shot, he said, oh my God. And they went and, reviewed it. It was a 2.
Toe on the line.
And Roger's like, thank God. But it's just like, dog, Kevin Durant is scary as shit. And Kevin Durant, I saw an interesting thing the other day where it's like, because even people kind of like, motherfuckers were sending it to me, like, yo, you always talk about how you fuck with KD because he took his career into his own hands. And I'm like, he did essentially, but I understand what this post was saying. It was like people compare KD and LeBron to leaving. But the thing that no one really harps about with LeBron is LeBron, he has left franchises and gone to other franchises. Every franchise he's gone to has been at the end of his contract. He's never requested a trade. And the team that he's gone to has been a team who was below playoff performances, and they won a championship. When he left Cleveland to go to Miami, they weren't a playoff team.
It was like 37 and 45.
He went there at the end of his contract with Cleveland, signed as a free agent, took him to championship caliber. They went to 4 straight championships. At the end of his 4-year deal, he left, went back to Cleveland. Cleveland was below fucking average. Cleveland was literally 10th seed in the East. He signed a fucking 4-year deal. They went to 4 straight championships, won one. They became the fucking premier team in the Eastern Conference. You know, LeBronto and all of that shit. At the end of his 4 years, he left, went to the Lakers in free agency. The Lakers were below playoffs. They weren't making the playoffs because Kobe had ruined them. Remember them last couple years? He went there, and they won a fucking championship. And LeBron is in his, 3rd year now with the 4th year, going into the last year. And it's just like, LeBron, it's not the shit KDB on.
And LeBron signed a full 4-year max with the Lakers with no opt-out, no player option, no none of that. He committed to the franchise.
And KD is like, yeah, fuck all that. You know what I'm saying?
KD, like, my Starbucks was not the right temperature.
No.
I got to get out of here.
No, I wasn't feeling that cold foam the way they had it this morning. I'm out. You see the New York Post went straight at him today.
Yeah.
Thin Man is
Thin
not...
Man has no heart.
Yeah, Thin Man has no heart. And I'm just like, damn, dog. And I'm not mad at KD because KD's thing is he's all about basketball. And I'm starting to... You know he's playing in Delaware on the 16th. And it's funny how that shit came about over IG Live. Right. Like, they was discussing him, like, not being a John. Deep, like, KD on the John, like, to add me in. Add me into the live.
Y'all can get 4 on here, right?
Yeah, y'all can get 4 on this John, right? Add me in. But KD told him he wants out. And, so now it's all of this hoopla back and forth, and they're talking about he wants to go to the Suns, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, like
Suns of the Heat.
Which now they saying Kyrie is trying to get the fuck out apparently, even though he signed the joint, but he wants a trade.
Chris Haynes is saying that the Lakers and Kyrie thing is like imminent. It's kind of like the consensus. It's like, yo, it's a salary give back with Russ. They might end up. Throwing in them worthless ass picks that they got. But he's basically saying like the Brooklyn Nets is just down to basically strip this shit down to the studs and just do a full fucking rebuild if necessary. Or build around Ben Simmons, which I don't even know what that means at this point.
Yeah, building around Ben Simmons is like, I don't know if that's the move.
Yeah, they said as far as the Miami trade goes, they would, obviously you would have to try to bring back Bam Adebayo, but you can't because of a provision in the collective bargaining agreement that prevents 2 players on 5-year rookie max extensions from being on the same team if they came from other teams.
Oh, wow.
So literally, Ben is on a 5-year rookie max extension, and so is Bam, and they both came from separate teams, so you would have to move Ben in order to take on Bam. Same thing with them trying to get Ayton on a sign and trade from Phoenix. You couldn't do it. You had to get rid of Ben in order to bring in Ayton. If they do him a full 5-year max, but they do a 4-year jump.
I ain't gonna hold you, yo. You a Laker fan, like yes. I'm a Laker fan.
Unfortunately, at this point, begrudgingly.
Russell Westbrook and AD for Kyrie and Ben. Would you do it?
Yes.
Yeah, I would too.
In a heartbeat. Even with Kyrie playing half the games, and Ben just Ben.
But Ben can Ben in there because all you gotta do is get the ball up.
That's what I'm saying.
No pressure.
I would love to see Ben Wallace. I mean, what's his name?
Simmons.
I was gonna say Ben Savage. I would love to see Ben Simmons playing with LeBron. Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, I would sign up for that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would do that.
And then you send Kyrie wherever the fuck. I mean, do you send KD wherever you send KD? Right. Now, what do you think about all of this like Toronto talk? Because from basketball standpoint, Toronto is one of the 3 or 4 best run organizations in the league.
Is what's the name still there? The black guy?
Ujiri? Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Masai. So it's like from a strictly basketball standpoint, it makes perfect sense. But KD, I think is a 0% chance that he signs up to go to Toronto for 4 years.
Yeah, I can't see that. No.
Because it's like, aside from the fact that literally you're in another fucking country, you basically are signing up to pay a whole nother international wage tax aside from the other 29 cities of NBA tax that you already have to pay for being in the NBA. I don't really necessarily see him signing up to do that, even though it makes all the basketball sense in the world.
It's this free agency shit is wild this year.
And it was supposed to be quiet.
That's the crazy part.
It was supposed to be quiet. It was supposed to be like, regular shit. You knew the young boys was going to get paid, this and this. Miles Bridges was like the biggest free agent coming into this shit.
Yeah.
And then somehow, some way, Rudy Gobert gets traded.
Right.
Kai fucking had his whole melodrama for 2 weeks. Is he gonna opt in or not? Fucking James Harden still didn't sign his deal yet, but the Sixers just signed PJ Tucker. So it's like, which basically says that James is going to re-sign at probably like the Chris Paul deal.
Yeah.
Like 3 years, 100 or some shit like that, whatever the case may be. So you basically give up 47 to get a bean.
Yeah, NBA is going to be nuts next year. Yeah. It's going to be wild.
It's so many players, man.
Yeah,
and this draft was way deeper than I thought, to where it's like they got players at 27, 28 where they like, that player, he going to make an impact. Like, they were talking about the kid that Golden State picked. They're like, he's going to, whatever minutes he plays this year, he'll be impactful for Golden State.
Yeah, because Golden State's, their bench is like gone. Otto Porter's gone. Peyton is gone.
Yeah. They re-signed Kevon Looney.
Didn't Damian Lee leave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They re-signed Kevon Looney. You're getting Wiseman back. So that's your 2 centers. You're getting Wiseman back this year. Basically, what they're banking on is that Kuminga and Moses Moody will make a further enough leap to where they'll step into those Otto Porter Iggy minutes or whatever like that. On a rookie scale contract to where we don't mind losing them. And then they signed Dante DiVincenzo from the Sacramento Kings, which was a beautiful signing for the mid-level exception, where he basically steps right into Gary Payton II's minutes, where you have now not as good of a defender, but a tenacious defender, and you have somebody that can bring the ball up and handle it and shoot it with more consistency than you did with GP. So if he steps into them 25 a game GP minutes, his numbers might go from 10, 11 points to 17, 18. He might be a fucking 6th man of the year candidate, and then you still got fucking Jordan Poole too. So where it's like, are we going to play 3 guards? Like, what's the lineup? Yeah. So Golden State's going to be good as shit. Minnesota's going to be better. Memphis is going to be better. Depending on what happens with Miami, they may or may not be better. You would expect the Sixers to probably be as good or a little bit better. Denver is getting back Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray. So
it's gonna be a lot.
And then Phoenix might kick Kevin Durant.
It's gonna be a lot. Who did Porter sign back with the Bucks?
Yeah, 4 years, $49 million. Shout out Bobby. Shout out to Underdog. 4 years, $49 million. Shout out to Milwaukee for doing the right thing with him, making sure that they, took care. He was on a crazy discount deal. 2 years, $9 million.
Yeah, hell.
Second year was a team option. Damn. They said that I was watching The Ringer, and they was basically one of the Ringer podcasts, and they was saying they were at a game, and they were like, "Yo, when Bobby Portis hits a fucking shot in Milwaukee, you can't hear shit. Like, it's the loudest, fucking most raucous arena."
Yeah, I talked to Hunt. They said that he had signed like 2 days before. They were just letting the chatter chat.
Yeah.
Remember the jump where he had like 7 threes? They was going nuts in that jump. Yeah, NBA this year should be fun. It should be wild, should be decent, man. But yeah, to wrap it all up, man, Miles Bridges, like we just spoke about, Zion just got a $193.
He ain't playing 2 years.
Oh, Ja got a $193. Fucking Lou Dart got 90. Like,
and that's basically considered a discount because they like, yo, he's only 22, 23 years old. So by the time he's entering his prime, he's going to be coming off a deal where he made $17.5 million annually. So his raise is only based on, you know what I'm saying, like a certain percentage increase. So it's like if he just continues to get a little bit better every season, even still, once this new CBA and the TV money kick in and all that crazy shit, like it's not even going to matter. Like, but the thing with fucking Oklahoma City this year, they didn't reach the salary cap floor, which is like the first team in history to not do that. They had to redistribute the difference of that money to all of the players on the team.
Right.
Because they were so far beneath because the only person getting paid was was Shea. And I don't even think his deal kicked in until this year. So I don't even know if he was getting paid last year. So they had all rookie scale players. And they're going to be good as shit too because they just drafted the young boy Chet and they already had Josh Giddey and Shea and all this old shit. Like, and they got 94,000 million draft picks.
Yeah. I like the boy Chet, man. He's funny.
He's smooth, man.
Yeah, I like him. You know what I'm saying? He lanky and white, so I don't know how that's going fair.
See, he had his motherfucking Richie on at the draft.
Yeah.
Fucking Paolo. Paulo
suit.
Banchero had the big ass P5.
That nigga's suit was crazy as fuck. He went full niggler out there. Full niggler out there for the.
He said, "Have you seen the baby dress before? We want to take that and flip it to purple."
Yeah. But all in all, man, I said last night we was at dinner, I was just like, I feel bad for Miles Bridges, and Rod felt me, and Kev was just like, I don't, and I'm like, it's just the fact that it's like, this is a black man with a black family, with a black neighborhood, with, like you said, a bunch of Hellcat and Rolly wishing niggas around him. Like, the economy that you are ruining in and around your last name is just like, God, like, here we are again.
This is worse than you making the money and blowing it. Like how, like, Vin Baker and Sean Kemp and them niggas did in the 90s, like, just spending unconscionably. Like, this is worse than that because you let a judgment lapse, which we've already seen you exercising poor judgment leading up to this, but you let a judgment lapse destroy generational wealth. Mm-hmm. So for that, I feel bad.
That's the part. It's not necessarily like him as a person, and it's just the fact that it's like, damn, like everybody's gonna be affected by that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just.
Mama, you ain't getting a new house. You're gonna have to stay in this house. You're gonna have to stay in the townhouse or the brownstone. You know what I'm saying? And it's like moments like that to where it's like, yo, you let the whole team down. Like, not fuck his team, his team. Mm-hmm. Fuck the Hornets. You let your personal team down. Them 40, 50 niggas that's basing their whole economy around you. And when bro get the contract, I'm getting the motherfucking food truck, the 7 food trucks, and all that shit is out the window.
Bruh.
You don't know where your next meal is coming from.
Yeah, no, when bro get the contract, I'm opening up a tomato farm. You know what I'm saying?
Agriculture. You know what I'm saying?
You know, ketchup is big business. You know?
I don't know if you've seen these tomato futures.
Yeah, real shit. Like, real talk. Frozen orange juice. All that shit. Like, it's just like, God damn, dog. So that's the part I feel sad about. Yeah. Where I'm just like have we not past this shit yet? Like, niggas just making it to this unfathomable amount of money and just pissing this shit away. We was talking about the R. Kelly shit the other day. Bruh, Kells got convicted the other day. 30 years.
30 ball. And he still got 2 more cases he got to go.
Tell me you seen the boy was like, this is the judge and the judge. 40 years, shawty. Fuck with me. 40 years. Don't take the plea deal. 40 years. And it's just like, I'm going to go there. Kel's Fall from Grace is the worst one ever in history.
Gotta be.
It's the worst joint ever.
Because of the fact that you already beat a case like this.
Right.
You already beat one of these in the early 2000s. Mm-hmm. So at no point did you say, I'm going to upgrade my bitches to like 20. Like, at no point did you say, like, yo, you know what? Keeping him in the dungeon is a little bit extreme. Like, he didn't change none of his behavior. Let me get an apartment. Right. Like, I can afford it. Let me get this bitch a basement apartment on the south side of Chicago. I'm going to just have the only key. She can't leave without fear of getting robbed.
They said if R. Kelly believe he can fly, now's the
time. See, that shit. Dog, did you read the actual, like, the court filings, like the transcripts? No, I didn't. Said this nigga made one of the girls suck his dick in the truck with all his homies after they played ball. And I'm just like, Kel's is a real freak.
He's a sick nigga.
Like, you a real menace to society.
Like, you literally pissing on bitches in the studio with other notable other notable artists there.
Hold up, I'll go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'll be my bitch.
Yeah. You see how I just spilled the Pepsi and I cleaned that up? Like, you start peeing right here in podcast over, dog. What the fuck? Kel's is crazy.
Kel's a sick nigga.
Kel's went from literally, like, Kel's had the song for all children graduations. That's what it was. Kel's really had ascended to that shit. Like, it was like everybody else and then R. Kelly.
Yeah.
And it was just known. And, you know, now to the point where it's like, when you listen to Kel's music, you got to do it like real, like.
You got to listen to Kel's music with AirPods on, with AirPod Max over top of them.
Like, still looking, see anybody hear this.
Listening to Kel's music is like listening to the Philly Drillers. Because you might become an op for playing this shit out loud. Like, real shit.
Oh, that's a little so-and-so?
Yo, you tripping, dog.
Where are you from?
Yeah. Kells really blew it to the point where it's like, they're like erasing you.
Yeah.
And that's the
30
shit.
years of content just gone. Didn't happen.
And that's the thing with Miles Bridges, where it's just like, dog, they can attempt to erase you from the books.
Like Miles, who was that? Darius Miles Simon, who was that?
So that's the part in it where I'm just like, I'm sick of seeing black people ascend to these heavenly heights and just losing it all.
Yeah. Nigga pissed away $1.73, man. Like, there's just no other way to frame it other than like, you just did the dumbest shit ever. Kells, you pissed away you were the R in R&B. It was the rumors were the facts. You were the guy. You gave everybody a hit.
Everybody.
Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Celine Dion, your goddamn self.
Jay-Z. Like Kells was so good that Jay dropped an album with the nigga. And then the video came out of him peeing on the girl, and Jay was like, we gotta run that back.
Right.
Man,
You fucked up the rollout.
Yeah. They did another album.
And then after that, Birdman was like, we need to do one of these, boy.
Dog. Playboy. We need one, Playboy.
I don't know what you and that jigger, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Me and you, Playboy. It's crazy.
Rick Ross had a song with the nigga. Hit song. Single. Jeezy dropped a single with him. Snoop Dogg dropped a single with him. B2K, Puff, Usher. All these niggas.
Same girl really go crazy.
Dog. And even looking at that, Kel said, you can call her up on the phone. You can call her up at her home. She won't know I'm on the phone. Yeah, man, that's the shit, homie. We about to bust this bitch. He knew Kells was crazy. You ever listen to the joint on the unfinished, the Double Up album? That's when I knew Kells was officially nuts. The Milton! They ever heard that? Go get the car, you bogus girl! Like, Kells really just like fell from grace. Now you just in the joint for 30.
And got 2 more cases pending.
This
ain't the end.
Terry ain't do 30. Meech not gonna do the whole
Meech
30.
ain't doing the whole 30, dog.
Like, dog, they hit you with a 30 ball when you got no money, no friends, no accomplices. No associates, no nothing.
Yeah. And you sold all your back catalog.
Dog.
So you don't got nothing to fucking finance.
Literally nothing.
An appeal, none of that shit. Like, you cooked.
You cooked.
And you fucking illiterate. Can't read or write.
Dog. Like, Kells, best case scenario. He do 16 on good behavior. You know what I'm saying?
But it's fed time. Ain't none of that shit.
Yeah.
He doing 85%, nigga doing 26 years. Barring appeal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's like, you're going to have to get like Ben Crump or somebody to even mount a reasonable defense to get that time cut.
Yeah, I was hoping maybe he could do half of it and come home and get a CDL. Right. You know what I'm saying? Drive for us.
Kells trucking.
Like, real shit.
Kells payload.
Yeah,
shit.
Real talk. Kells logistics, you know what I'm saying? I believe I can fly trucking.
When I say toot toot, you say beep
yeah.
beep.
Key in the ignition logistics. Kells really an idiot, man. And that's the part with me where it's like, it's not even like, I would be okay with seeing niggas blow through their money and blow through their shit on they was trying some shit and it just didn't work out.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at Antoine Walker. He was trying, they tried to make it sound like he was a degenerate gambler, which he was, but he lost his money in a real estate deal. Like, he lost $52 million in a real estate deal. He was trying to do some positive shit.
Right.
It went sideways. Like, you can't account for that. And it's just like, that's why I be like, criticizing motherfuckers online when they just throw the blanket like investment out there. Investment. I invested a lot of money in the stock market and in crypto the last 2 years. I lost a lot of money too. Like, you don't always hit on every fucking investment. No. Even when you make smart investments, sometimes there's market factors and market shifts and shit like that take place. We about to enter a fucking recession that we've been telling y'all about since last fucking October, September. Right. Like, but it's finally here. They just not announcing it now because they don't want everybody. They want to get this travel money out of everybody for the summertime. Because you niggas think you, and when I say niggas, I mean white niggas, Asian niggas, and all niggas think y'all think y'all finally free again and y'all free to travel. But all they doing is a quick little money grab. Back to school, y'all get the kids settled and be like, oh yeah, all the market factors are here. We are officially in a recession because they know you ain't traveling in the cold months no way.
Or I seen 400 pilots on strike the other day. They was out there doing steps, marching and shit in unison and shit like Masons and shit. I said, this shit is crazy.
Let me see a cute
Dog. It's gonna get rough, man. It just like, I don't know, like, you know, we black. Like, we trying to ascend to certain things, and it's just, you know, to get there, and especially, like I said, in these situations where you're making astronomical money, astronomical success, astronomical access, to just blow that shit on nothing.
You're making 3 generations worth of money, and you was still gonna get another one of these, like a 250 coming after this, if you did the right shit and didn't hurt yourself or whatever the fuck, didn't do no bullshit. You had another one of these coming. So you potentially talking about a middle of the road guy, like a good player, not quite an all-star, not quite a great player, but a good young player making $425 million on 2 contracts. Yeah. Not to mention the 30 or 20, whatever you got for your rookie scale contract. Just about a middle of the road guy making $450 in his playing career.
Because you figure Giannis is gonna make like 700.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just what it is.
Harden on the back end of like a terrible stretch with the Sixers. After them first 5 games, he was lightning in the bottle. He's still about to get like 3 years a bean 20 or some shit like that. Like, all right, y'all can sign PJ Tucker. I'll take a little haircut. On top of the deuce that he already had in the 70 whatever he had from the first contract when he got traded to Houston. On top of the Adidas money, like, we can't be. It's like as much shit as we give James Harden. It's like he's just a dickhead. He's not out here getting in trouble.
Like, Giannis been in the league 7 years. He done already made 120. So he's gonna get for his next 5 250, which puts you at 370. At that point, he's 12 years in the league. He might get another big joint for 3 something at that. At that point, they're
going to pay him.
You talking about $600-700 million? You going
just in NBA dollars?
Just in NBA dollars. Never mind the fucking the dealership that gave you 3 Hellcats for doing some pro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is crazy. So it's like, yo, to fuck that up like that, like, we got to get to a point where it's like, yo, there are certain levels in life. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's the point I was making with the whole shit when I was talking about at the live show about living in certain places where it's just like, if you live on 8th and Rockland, you can act like that. Yeah. But if you don't live on 8th and Rockland and you live in a fucking gated community, you can't act like you on 8th and Rockland.
Yeah, they will escort your ass out.
And we have a tendency to not turn off the dumb shit no matter what's happening and what's coming in. And that's the part for me where it's just like, don't, like, perfect example. We was talking the other day. The conversation we was having, when you a big time drug dealer, there's no real turning it off once you in with a cartel. You can't call Poppy and be like, I'm taking the next couple months off. I got some Aflac. I'm gonna take the next couple months off. Cause Poppy not trying to hear that shit.
You know too much, you seen too much, you took part in too much, and whoever you might be giving us a replacement, we don't know this nigga. We might like him. We might not. So guess what? Even if you do try to transition somebody, you still in it till we trust this nigga.
Yeah. Because they'll strict tell you, yo, you on the hook for that. Never mind what the fuck you talking about with him. And it's like, yeah, like I hear people all the time when big drug dealers go down for like federal indictments or whatever, and be like, damn, you made $100 million. Why he just ain't stop? And it's like, because he don't work at Arby's.
Right, you
can't just walk in with a 2-week letter like, yeah, you know, transitioning into my own thing. Like, it don't work like that. But it's like, yo, when you got situations like this where it's like you're making all this money and you're doing legal shit, why the fuck you don't just sit the fuck down and just go chill some guy?
At least till July 6th when the moratorium is over.
So
at least get your money and have them try to backdoor and void the contract. Don't just not get the contract where they can just walk away clean. Yeah, we don't even want to give you the rookie tender.
Yeah.
We're not even interested in you. And that's like $16 million. Like, you're not even getting that, nigga. It might take him 4 or 5 years to build back up to that level to where somebody's offering him a max contract.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he gonna have all them RTB niggas that's hanging around him. All them niggas hey, I got a message for all the RTB niggas. Y'all thought y'all was getting Hellcats. Guess what? Y'all getting sent back to Flint, nigga.
Yeah.
Y'all, because y'all didn't prevent him from doing some dumb shit, and somebody got to take the L for this.
Back to drinking sewer water.
Oh man, bro, get this contract. I'm telling you, I got a filtration system I've been working on. Gonna put clean water
For everybody.
For everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit crazy as fuck, man. But
Just getting sent back home, dog.
yeah, man. I don't know. Kels is in jail forever.
Miles gonna be calling niggas like, yo, where you at? I'm at the crib in Flint. All right, stay there. Yeah. don't even come where I'm at. Your services are no longer needed.
Yeah, real shit, man.
Mixtape is canceled. He gonna call Sada Baby. Yeah, that whole deal we was working on. Yeah, we gonna void that. You know what I'm saying?
Real
I got
shit.
bigger fish to fry. You can't fuck up your main thing and then think you gonna be able to just go out here and just do some other shit.
I seen people like, oh, bro, gonna be good. He rap, and it's just like,
Are you
bro,
niggas
it's
stupid?
rappers that ain't good that rap. It's rappers flipped right now.
Lil Baby is phenomenal. Lil Baby ain't making $37.5 million a year. If he is, I ain't seen it. And I got all the mixtapes, all the albums, all the merch. Like, I got everything. I love that young nigga. Guess what? He ain't making 37.5. From one thing.
They was on a post the other day, like, yeah, nah, bro, gonna be already gonna be he rap and got a following. And I'm just
The
like,
fact that we are so retarded culturally that we associate rap and basketball and rap and professional sports is like it's the same thing. It's like you do know there's only like 4 niggas making
that's the
that
point.
type of money, right?
Motherfuckers like y'all act like niggas who rap and tour don't make money. I'm like, yeah, they do, but they're named Drake
Yeah,
and
Drake,
Future,
Kanye
like,
West, Future, the Migos, like
dog, like y'all are tripping.
non-niggas. The Weeknd, he don't even rap. It's non. We gotta start adding in other genres.
Isn't he signed to Sada Baby?
Yes.
Sada Baby don't make $37 million a
No.
year. Like, this is just dumb. We are ridiculous, yo. Like, yeah, so. And that's another one, the accountability. That, like, to wrap this up, that's the joint where it's just like, we don't take accountability in nothing. We just make excuses and provisions. And it's like, no, yo, we got to stop that shit. We got to tell motherfuckers. Like, I said it a couple weeks ago when me and Jules, I'm like, yo, the shit with Ja Morant with the trenches, we could take it to the streets. It's like, dog, that's not where you could, like, it's almost like a slap in T. Morant face.
Yep.
You had a good dad, a good father who worked hard, that put you in different positions to be able to go and excel and fly and do
Y'all
things.
had a big backyard. You know how I seen it? I seen the family photos. Y'all was all dressed alike.
Like, yeah.
You had grass and a fence, nigga.
There's nothing wrong with that. But for you to walk around with this it's like, again, the black shit, where it's just like, oh, you making money now? Like, and in job brain, it's like, I'm getting paper. Moneybag Yo gave me a chain. Nigga, we the same. And it's just like, no, nigga, you not Gotti. You not that. You didn't have to bubble up a fucking career from a mixtape. And it's like, it's not that. It's just, it's unbelievable at times watching it. How, like I said, we make these excuses and these provisions and just, oh, it's cool. Bro gonna be all right. Huh?
Bro might not be all right.
Bro might not be all right. And that's the problem. Nobody wants to step in and be like, yo, cuz, don't do this.
Imagine having to explain to your mama that you fucked up $173 million because you wanted to beat your baby mama.
I think it's his wife.
That's even worse.
I think it's his wife.
It could be a chick on the street. Imagine explaining to your mother or your father, whoever your OG, whoever you look up to, that sacrificed to get you where you at. And you got to explain to them, yeah, I'm not getting a 173 because I kicked Tanisha's ass.
Yeah, it's his wife.
This nigga's retarded.
It's his wife.
Yeah, I have a bold prediction. He will not play in the NBA next season.
I said it last night at dinner. I think he's going to end up on the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? Like,
or the Raiders.
I think
Somebody in the comments was like, Raiders offering a max. They're going to have to call Starberry and see what it's like playing for the Shanghai Sharks.
Yeah.
He gonna be in the Chitlin circuit.
That shit is bad, man. He might have to go play tight end in the USFL.
Or I said earlier, I'm like, if he put on a little weight, he could fight Greg Hardy at a UFC undercard job. You know what I'm saying? Like, bad, man. Bad. Like, even like on Twitter, when you type his name in and you see that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't see no sports no more.
No.
Yes, but I wanted to do hood rat stuff for my friend.
That's the shit. Miles Bridges explaining what happened and shit. Somebody said Miles from Oisha greater than Miles Bridges. Yo, dog. Miles Bridges, boy.
It's a bad joint, man. It's a legendary bad joint. Like, it's as bad as it can get. Enough about Miles Bridges. Yeah. Let's talk about somebody that's securing the bag.
Okay.
Shout out to Irv Gotti, the legend.
Yo, I don't think you really realize how hard you snapped on the nigga at the.
Oh yeah, I've realized it later. I don't care.
You was angry, boy.
Because it's just like at some point, right? We as men gotta stop being.
I was gonna say as black people,
gotta stop being so obsessed with other people's money to where we're willing to demean somebody else just because they don't have the same money.
I said it before.
We're the only ones that do that shit.
You like. People would get mad at me when I would say Beans was just as good of a rapper as Jay-Z. In fact, when Beans and Jay-Z rapped, if I have to pick 20 songs that they rapped on with each other, Beans out of the 20, I think he rapped better than Jay on some of those records. Pretty much most of them. I think Beans was better than him on Once Again Into Him. I think Beans was better than him on Money Cash Ho's remix. I think Beans was better than him on You, Him, Me, Her. I think Beans was better on What We Do. I think Beans was better on Somehow, Some Way. I think Beans was better on This Can't Be Life. I think Beans just streets is talking. I think Beans just always kind of out-rap Jay. Because what it was Jay would employ Beans for those Life Was Fucked Up records. And it's like...
He was like, my time to shine.
You can't outdo that with... Like, I'm sorry. I personally felt like Beans would out-rap Jay a lot. But when I say this, you know why you can't really compare the two? It's because Jay has $2 billion and Beyonce. Yep. And
to the winner go the spoils.
To the victor go the spoils. That's just what it is. And with money in our culture, we will overly award someone having some money when in reality, let's keep it a buck. All the people in rap that we award this legendary status for their money, the money didn't come in, at least in that outrageous fashion, from music.
It's literally like 3 motherfuckers whose money came from music, and they all came from the same camp, which is Birdman, Lil Wayne, and Drake. Yeah, everybody else, all their money came from other shit.
One of Drake's most underrated bars was on 5 p.m. in Toronto when he said, I'm the only one still known for the music, I swear. Because when you talk about all these guys in the music arena, you talk about 10 things before you talk about their music. But Drake is the one where you talk about him, it's just dominating Billboard, crushing streaming, crushing this, #1 tour in rap history. It's like, yeah, it's the truth. But it's like, you look at like Puff. Puff been making money since forever, and Puff's astronomical money came from clothing, liquor, his fucking plays with other situations.
Other shit.
Jay-Z, Budweiser, Samsung, Amanda Brignac, clothing, Rockaware. Like, Jay said it on the track. Y'all can bullshit with rap if you want. Like, all these dudes made all this astronomical money from outside of the rap arena. Now, granted, their fame and popularity came from rap. So we're not going to diminish that. But we have this thing now where it's like, because these dudes are uber rich, we'll go back and try to like rewrite history. And that was the whole issue at the show when you was like, Irv is one of the best producers in rap history. Like, and that's
Irv is in the Guinness Book of World Records for like the longest #1 of the longest #1 records.
Dog, and I literally, I've said it before. I'm like, yo, Irv literally gave us Ja Rule, DMX, and Jay-Z in the fashion, in the fashion in which we had all of them with around the Hard Knock Life tour and everything. And it's just like, yo, Irv really is like a genius.
Like Irv said, let's put this in perspective. Irv saved the most important hip hop label of all time, Def Jam. They were about to be absorbed into Polygram if they didn't sell, if they didn't hit certain sales metrics. He gave them Jay-Z, Ja Rule, and DMX all at the same time. DMX so much so that they had to come back and say, yo, can you please put out another album in the 4th quarter, because like that'll just really take it over the top. And fucking Leor got a bonus, and Kev got a bonus, and Julie Greenwald, everybody got fucking bonuses and raises and got to keep their job because of what Irv Gotti did.
Right.
And they laughed him out of the building when he brought DMX in there. Talking about, what is he going to bark on every... What is he going to bark on every song? That was Leor's initial fucking response. So it's like... And aside from that, he took Ja And people were saying Ja sounded like X so much that they went back and reinvented Ja completely, made a whole new style of music to where now the shit that they were doing is basically the contemporary style of music now where all the rappers sing and rap. NBA Youngboy, fucking Drake, Fredo Bang, like all the niggas that you think that you like have some element of harmonizing and singing instituted into their music, and Murder Inc. brought that to the forefront. Not to mention Ashanti, fucking #1 album, held the record for the most fucking sales for a debut album for a female in history. Like, not to mention Lloyd, #1 record with Southside, all of that shit. Like, all of this stuff that he did, the J-Lo records and all of that. So it's like, we don't get to trivialize somebody's success just because somebody else has more money than them. And what we're talking about is their success in one arena. We're not talking about the fact that Irvin Jeffrey fucking failed or that, you know, the labels bailed on him when he got the Fed case and this. We're not talking about none of that. We're talking about what he did in a vacuum from 1996, Reasonable Doubt, to, what was that, 2003? When Blood on My Eye came out?
4.
So you're talking about in a 7-year period, motherfucker sold enough records to where now, and Ja Rule walked away from music. His flagship artist walked away from music. Ashanti left him, Lloyd left him, and he still generated enough money in that 7-year span that 50% of his masters is worth $100 million. We don't get to trivialize that or just make it seem like that didn't happen because Puff sold us a bunch of fucking Ciroc.
Right.
We don't get to do that.
But at the show, we mentioned our girl, and somebody was like, "Well, he ain't Puff. He ain't got no money like Puff." And it's just like, all right, yes, technically, but that's not what we were referring to.
Yeah, we're talking about his status in music as a hit producer.
Yeah.
Like, that is it. Well, he ain't push no buttons. Neither did Puff.
Because I know if Irv walk into a room, Puff not going to be like, look at this little nigga.
Exactly. You can't do that.
Nah. Yeah.
You can't do that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, so now we fast forward all these years later, and Irv said, he said he had a conversation with Mark Lazary, who owns, one of the principal owners of the Milwaukee Bucks, and he told him, you can't sell what you don't own. The name of the game is ownership.
Right.
And if you own something and it creates fucking value or it ages properly, you can monetize it and sell it later. So Irv was able to leverage his back catalog for Murder Inc., sell it for $100 million to Iconoclast, and then also subsequently get a $200 million line of credit from them. And what we talk about the last few weeks on the show, other people's money. So I got my 100. That's my 100. So now I don't got to invest my 100 into my future projects and my content creation. I can use this 200 from them, this French fucking trillionaire. Right. I can use that money from them to go and create Tales Season 3 and this. And like, I can use other people's money to fund these projects and just make my margins.
What Kev Dolce say? He said the guy got $200 million. And literally the next week he was funding for another business. He got like $1.2 million, and he like, bro, that's literally like 1% of the money you just got. It's like so, yeah. Like so.
Other people's money for everything. If you have good ideas, make other people pay for that shit.
Exactly. So yeah, Irv got 300, man.
Irv got 300. You know what I'm saying? A real 300 where he substantiated, where they fucking did a fucking live stream, him signing the contract and the whole, like, it's not a fake. He got 300 M's.
Yeah.
In 2022, a bean that's his. Put that to the side. Do whatever you want with that. And
that's my tricking budget.
Yeah, that's my trick budget. You know what I'm saying? And then you got 200 to fund and develop whatever you want. Like, that motherfucker's an icon.
Yeah.
Like,
on top of the doc about to drop, and a new round of Tales about to drop.
Yeah, and he about to do a Supreme Team feature film.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you take your troubles and then you turn them into opportunity. We done already went through the litigation and this and this and this. Preem is locked the fuck up, blah, blah, blah. Now let's tell our story the same way BMF telling their story. BMF is essentially telling their story in real time. Terry is still on Fed fucking parole. Meech is still locked up. Right. Niggas got a television show, a hit television show on Stars. Right now.
Yeah.
They broke the damn Power record for fucking, because that's how much interest it is. And we just love gangster stories, and that whole gangster ecosystem in America is part of who we are. What's the #1 genre of fucking podcast? True crime. People just have infinite fucking interest in that shit. from a layman standpoint and from people that participated in it and were, around or adjacent to the life or in it. Like, people just have infinite interest in that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, salute to Irv, man. Like, I don't even know the man. I met him a time or two. And every time I seen him, he was in a Rolls Royce. He had a nice watch. Like, he never fell off. And he left the music industry essentially in 2005.
Yeah.
He never fell off. Like, he never was not riding clean. He never, wasn't living in a big crib and all of that shit. So it's like, we can't have these situations where it's like, we just want to just trivialize people's success because their contemporary might be doing a little bit better and not add the context of what they did to make that money.
Exactly.
Because it's like, if you want to compare music money, none of these niggas fuck with Baby. Let's just call it what it is. Or Lil Wayne or Drake. Like, whoever they are, add them all up. They can't do it. None of these niggas got a plaque in their office, wherever the Cash Money office is. None of these niggas got a plaque in their office that say 1 billion songs sold.
Yeah.
And they own 90% of it.
Drake really got 166 platinum songs. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yes, one artist.
One nigga.
Man.
And some of those songs are more than 1 times platinum.
Yes.
Because he got God's Plan.
Three
That's
diamonds.
10. Yeah,
Three
real
diamonds.
shit. Like, that's a lot of money, man. A lot of money being made. Shout out to Irv, man. I want to get Irv on the show so bad.
We have to.
Yeah, shout out to Irv, man.
We have to. I will fly to wherever you are, Irv.
Real shit. We'll be there in the morning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not today because shit is fucked up. Right. You don't want to fly the same day when you got to go somewhere. What else you got over there?
My y'all weird of the week. I haven't done one in a while.
Oh, I got one.
My y'all weird of the week. Trey Songz Groupie goes wrong.
Oh, that's a good one.
There was a situation online that unfolded where this girl basically, came to Twitter, came to the apps, and wanted to tell her.
Heard the other day was like, this app should have been called Trigger.
And wanted to tell her story about an experience she had with Trey Songz and his team or whatever. And basically, she said she saw Trey Songz at a club somewhere. I forget where it was, some nondescript ghetto city, I'm sure, because he's pretty much banned from all the 10 major metropolitan areas in the country. So she, sees Trey Songz or whatever the case may be. He's in a section, and she claims that all the girls were like average looking. Like, he had all these average looking girls around him, but they was all like white or Asian or Indian or light skin or whatever. But they were like average looking girls. So I was wondering, like, does he want some beautiful chocolate girls in his section? And it's just like, like, all right, this is already getting weird, like, from the beginning. Because number one, it's like, why pit yourself against these other women in his ecosystem that you don't know in order to justify your existence of being around somebody that prior to you trying to make this comparison, you basically made it like, well, I've heard about the allegations and this, but he seems like a nice guy. Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, all right, why you even want to be around that?
Making provisions.
Yeah, it's like, why you even want to be around that?
Right.
If there's any like second, third, fourth thoughts about this, like, why even be around it? So then she's like, she approaches the section or whatever, and I guess, I don't know if it was his brother or somebody that was with him was like, yeah, we ain't doing no dark-skinned girls tonight. And she's like, excuse me? She's like, yeah, Trey don't want no dark-skinned girls up here, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's bad enough we got these average-looking bitches here, you know what I'm saying? They light-skinned. We ain't gonna have some average-looking, dark-skinned bitches too. Yeah. So it's just like, so y'all didn't quite make the cut, you know what I'm saying? We here in Saginaw, Michigan, or wherever the fuck they at. Y'all didn't make the cut, you know what I'm saying? Enjoy your night. So then, allegedly, this conversation continues to where she's now trying to gain validation from any and everybody in the club to try to figure out why Trey Songz, this alleged predator, don't want me in his section. Right. And I'm just like, yo, are we okay?
No, we aren't.
Like, are we this cooked, this burnt as a society?
What are we, Dan?
Fried.
Yeah, are we,
motherfucking fried.
Like, are we this cooked, this burnt, this fried as a society that the rebuff, the no wasn't enough? Now I need to go seek validation from all these other people to try to figure out, like, am I beautiful or not? And it's just like, at some point she ended up talking to the DJ, and allegedly and this is where I cut the video off. The DJ was like, well, you know what I'm saying? You are a goddess, and you gorgeous, and you don't need validation from them. And I'm just like, this didn't happen. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
The DJ was DJ. He was spinning them
Bitch,
records.
what?
Yeah.
The DJ was trying to get the hole.
Yeah, real shit.
you know what I'm saying?
Come in this booth.
Yeah.
Let me show you.
You know, the DJ was essentially doing the equivalent of funeral crashing at that point. I see a distressed asset. I'm about to get it for pennies on the dollar.
Yo, real shit.
It's like that sort of thing. And I'm just like, yo. And she literally came thinking like people was going to be on her side. And it's like, I said this the other day. We was having a private conversation, but I said this the other day. Women have reached a point where all women care about is defending other women. No matter how ridiculous their stance or their
Well, there
points may
are
be.
some that like. And
There are a few that's not for the bullshit.
That's the joint that's starting to go around. Like I seen a chick the other day was like, I don't support all women because some of y'all bitches be on nothing.
Exactly. Y'all be ridiculous.
Y'all be ridiculous.
So it's like, so with that thought, but with that thought process in mind, where overwhelmingly women are like, you stupid ass bitch. Like, you played yourself.
Yeah.
And that was just so strange for me to see. And it's still going. And it's, you know, the general consensus from both male and women is it's like, if you already have these sideways thoughts about this man, whether they be substantiated or not, why you even want to be in his atmosphere? Why you even want to be around him? And it's like, because at the end of the day, it's this shit. It's the, hey, Trey, say what's up. It's that shit because you want to be associated with this successful man, despite whatever may be being said about him in the public and the, you know, in the news at large. So that's my y'all weird of the week.
Definitely weird. Seeing her sitting in the car crying, and it's just like, all right. This
Yeah, I didn't even make it that far. Once she said the DJ told her she was a goddess, I was like, nope. X back. I got up out of there.
My y'all weird for the week is the McDonald's situation. The dude who brought the McDonald's for his kid.
Oh my goodness.
And the baby mom went up. I cannot believe that people got so involved in this situation.
They got philosophical. It became like an existential crisis, like on some like what came first, the chicken or the egg. It was just like, and it was all a prank.
Yeah.
It was a TikTok.
Yeah.
And it's like, this goes to show. We get up on this show every week, 4 or 5 times a week, and we give motherfuckers primo A1 content. We give people perspective. We give people fucking resources, information, shit like that. And niggas will jump over our shit, jump over Cruise Season, jump over all of the fucking shows of substance and go right to the nonsense and then create a week of dialogue about something that is nothing.
That is literally nothing.
At the core of it, it is nothing.
Because like Nerd said, this shit should have been called trigger.
Yes.
Because people see things and it triggers them. Because they dealing with a bunch of bullshit with their baby fathers and baby mothers. And that was my y'all weird. It wasn't them. My y'all weird was y'all. Right. For being this involved in this shit. Who gives a fuck? Who, like, in all actuality, who really, like, if you, of any type of anything, do you really care about this situation?
Yeah, that situation was like the equivalent of like who would win, like arguing over like who would win in a fight, a cricket or a grasshopper. It was like that for like a week. Yeah. Like who would win between a lion and a tiger? Like, well, a tiger is 700 pounds,
right.
So there's that. So you're gonna smack the king of the jungle all types of around. So it's like we can stop arguing about this shit.
Shit is crazy, man. I watched, and all them situations, it brings out the worst in people.
Yes.
The absolute worst.
Because you got people that are really like, well, technically, like people really writing like whole like dissertations about this shit, like in the comments, like, well, technically he don't have to, but in the spirit of being a good man and community building, he should. Because and I'm just like, bro, why do y'all give a fuck?
Dog. Black had a good tweet the other day. He was like, tweeting that you would have bought McDonald's is not gonna get you that pussy. And I'm just like, dog, this shit like that, you really, really see like just how far gone. I was telling them last night, I personally have got, I like kind of hate social media. Yeah. Now. Like I honestly do. Like I really hate it.
It's
like,
easy to hate.
It's hateable because it's like, yo, you literally got people now where it's like how you just said, there's a lot of good, there's a lot of information, there's a lot of decent stuff out there, but people forego it for the nonsense. Why do you think Shade Room has 35 million followers? People love bullshit.
Even as ridiculous as Fresh and Fit are, they do shows on a weekly basis about finances, about self-improvement, about masculinity, about like really things to help people out, help men out in particular. Those videos have a fraction of the views of the videos where Myron is kicking some blockhead bitch out of the studio.
Somebody the other day was like, my God, the podcast that they just the relationship sex podcast, and it's so annoying. Like, why the fuck is that all it's about? And I think it might have been, I can't think who it was like, it's tons of podcasts that don't do that. They just don't go viral.
Exactly.
Because y'all
don't engage with
y'all
the
are
shit.
addicted to bullshit and nonsense. It just we as a people, man, motherfuckers went on for days about that shit.
A whole week.
Dog, days.
Like, they went on for it so long, it had time for her to come around, make another statement, and then for her to come back and make another statement basically saying this was a social experiment on TikTok, and y'all took the bait on it, and now thank y'all for all the followers and engagement. Like, because y'all go after the low-hanging fruit every time, but then we'll get on these apps and complain about not liking what we see, but that's the shit that you rush to. It's a fight, it's a shooting, it's a fucking a car chase, it's some bullshit fucking proposition or whatever that y'all can argue over. Like, it's like that shit. And the smart people that are fucking doing content and all of that shit, they understand this shit. And what do? They just got you.
Yeah.
What did Sean Cotton say when he was on the show? He said they put some clip up. He said niggas argued about that shit for 11 days in the fucking comments. I don't remember what it was. It's like if you give motherfuckers a this or that, niggas will argue till the end of time. There's niggas right now in the barbershop fucking arguing about LeBron versus Jordan.
Oh yeah.
Right now.
Muhammad Ali versus Floyd. Stupid shit. Stupid ass shit.
Stupid shit that just is a time killer that all you going to do at the end of it is still disagree.
Oh. I remember my last time in the barbershop. Like, I can remember my last, because now I go to a private barber who cuts just you. Yeah. And I remember my last time going to get my actual beard lined up in a barbershop where other people are allowed to be in there while you getting cut. And these niggas was arguing the best defensive football player in the history of the NFL. And I made the mistake of chiming in and saying that I personally think it's Lawrence Taylor. What? Over Deion? Over Prom? Then somebody comes out of left field with Reggie White. Then somebody's over here with fucking Dick Butkus. And then you look up and you just like, yo, what the fuck?
No, but Ed Too Tall Jones, though. I ain't gonna hold you for a 4-year period. Brian Urlacher, you know what I'm saying? White boy was on his jaw.
White cuz was, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's just you realize that
Ronnie Lott cut his finger off.
No, like you realize you just like, yo, these are stupid, pointless arguments that help us absolutely get nowhere in life, yo. We're doing this for no fucking reason at all.
None.
So yeah, that's definitely my y'all weird. The way y'all acted over that stupid ass McDonald's shit, man. You got anything else over there?
All right, so last thing, I got a this or that. I saw it on IG. Now I gotta pose it to y'all. Would you rather have $1 or courtside tickets to a WNBA game?
That was funny as shit.
I'll take the $1.
You was crazy as no bullshit. I was in the gym yesterday and I went in the sauna. And the sauna at the gym got a TV in it. And the WNBA game was on. And there was one person sitting courtside. Like, all the courtside seats was open. And I seen it and I was just like, did somebody spill something? I was like, what the fuck happened? That ain't nobody sitting on the wood. And I was just like, and then I thought about it, was like, damn, because you know I like going to games and shit, sitting courtside or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, I should go look and see how much WNBA courtside tickets cost. Please tell me you did. I didn't go. I forgot. That's what I mean.
I'm looking now.
That's the point I was making, where it was like I like wasn't that interested. I said it and I just
didn't even follow.
I didn't even follow through with it. Yeah.
So you want the $1?
Yeah, I would probably take the $1.
I'm gonna go with the buck.
Yeah, I would probably take the $1.
If Taya Cooper was playing though, I would take the tickets.
I like Lisa Leslie. If it was in her
prime Lisa Leslie.
Yeah, I would go to.
No, the Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops era. I would have been at
Tina Time. Yeah, I would go to.
I would go
the
to
Comets had it rocking.
Yeah.
What's the girl with the braids from New York? Teresa Witherspoon. I would. Rebecca Lobo and them. Yeah, like
who's the best team? Who won the chip last year?
I think the Sparks did.
In women's basketball.
Was it? I think the Sparks was 2 years ago. I think it was the Chicago Sky.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I think it was the Chicago Sky.
Who's the Sparks?
It was the Sparks?
I don't know. Who is the Sparks?
Los Angeles Sparks.
Who is the Sparks?
Yeah, Los Angeles Sparks.
Oh, the Sparks. Here we go.
Yeah, that's who Taya Cooper played for. You know what I'm saying? If she playing, I'll be at every game with a son. Okay. Chad Hart's Taya.
Here we go. Get tickets. $215
each.
I mean, they said that's the most expensive ticket. So
okay,
I'm hoping that I'm hoping that's
putting them right on the wood for the 215.
Wood seats for $215 is excellent. That's good as shit.
Big deal.
That's a good deal. You just go and take pictures of yourself from the court, like the court angle.
Yeah, you get the fucking professional. You get a professional retirer for $50. Ain't like you taking pictures of the game.
Yeah,
take pictures of you. Now you got professional photos.
Yo, real shit.
Courtside for $50.
Yeah, you just gotta wait to post them until the fall. When NBA is back. Yeah, courtside last night for the Nets. You there for the Brooklyn Mystics.
AA is $215.
Okay, AA $215. So that means Wood probably like $500.
They don't even let you get on the wood. That's probably what it is.
Day of is probably $84 for courtside.
Women's basketball, like it just.
You know what's crazy? We support all of us, the whole country. We support women's college basketball.
Because that should be turned.
That should be turned because of the atmosphere and all of that. We do not support. These are the same athletes.
Oh, you're not allowed to sit courtside, I guess.
Oh, okay.
It's grayed out.
Is that why it was empty?
Yeah, it's all gray.
But it was one person sitting there. He must have bought all the tickets.
For the whole season.
Yeah.
That'll be $842, sir.
Would have said by myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I personally was never into women's basketball. I just never was like it wasn't something I was like, you know, back in the day, like I said, when it first got introduced, they, you know, and it's crazy because even watching like Martin at the reunion the other day,
yeah.
like, and I made me think about like, remember when Martin had Cheryl Swoops, Dawn Staley, and
Lisa Leslie.
It was Lisa Leslie, right? It's like they became like a larger than life figures. Remember they won the gold medal.
Yeah.
Like
they launched the WNBA.
Right. They actually did a 30 for 30 on them. And it's like, yeah, looking at that, them players and they were literally like larger than life. Like, and that's what the NBA and all of these professional sports had. It's not that, you know, somebody like they really have a built-up reputation for their players in and around their league. And to me, the WNBA doesn't do a real good job of it, at least now. Where, like, back in the day, Cynthia Cooper was like a goddess.
Yes.
Dawn Staley was a goddess. Lisa Leslie's a goddess. Like,
even on a local level here, like I remember, like they had a public league championship at the Palestra or at Temple at Leah Cords when they first opened Leah Cords and stuff like that. We would go to them games and we would watch the girls' games. You know what I'm saying? In anticipation of the boys' games, whatever. But we would really like be into it. The Khadijah Bowens era and all of that. Like you had super talented, female basketball players and everybody was into it. But it's like on a pro level, it's just a total societal disconnect.
Because what it is, and I'm gonna just be honest, and this ain't hating or whatever, but like you got female basketball on the high school level, right? And then you got men's basketball on the high school level. Every now and then you get a Zion Williamson or a LeBron James or a Rasheed Wallace and shit who's, you know, fire, just lighting the building on fire. But it's fairly the same. They high school kids. And then you got like collegiate women's basketball and collegiate men's basketball where it's a grade above, but it's not crazy out of reach. But once you go professional, you're talking about like Michael Jordan. They don't have a Michael Jordan. You're talking about Magic Johnson, Wilt Chamberlain, like niggas who are legitimately like gods amongst men. Yeah. You're not Shaquille O'Neal. Like there's no Shaq in women's basketball. You know what I'm saying?
And with the tickets, $215. That's why the women don't get no money. There's no money to give.
Yeah, it's just they're not generating it in the same manner. And granted, they get like spillage from the NBA.
They get subsidies.
Right, from the NBA and shit. But more so, I'm talking about the game itself. Yeah. Like when you watch think about Kobe and LeBron and Dwayne Wade and Allen Iverson, the highlights.
We knew what Kobe and AI was from freshmen.
You think about the highlights that they got in their career. The WNBA, the biggest highlight you can get is actually dunking the ball. I saw a joint the other day. It was on Bleacher Report where it was a clip of so-and-so dunked in the game. And the girl, it wasn't even like a dunk. It was like she laid it up and touched it. And people in the comments it's bad over there. This is that. And it's just if I want to watch a game with no dunks, I'll play my dad. You know what I'm saying? That'd be a basketball game.
They got lower the courts.
Me and Dan Long, no dunks.
all below the rim game.
All mid-range.
Backing down from the fucking check rock. Real shit. The best thing you're going to see in the WNBA, John, is a cool-ass layup. And pulling up from far. The girl is, I ain't gonna hold you, the girl is pretty entertaining. The one of Kobe minions, the white girl, she in New York.
Oh yeah, I know something.
Sabrina Ionescu. Yeah. She's talented, but it's she not about to go baseline and huff on nobody for the and one and then do this. That's what you going for when you go to see professional sports is people do shit that you can't even fucking possibly. You ever see when they bring somebody out the stands and be like, you got 30 seconds to hit a three? That nigga don't ever hit that three. Ever. We don't how many games did we go to this year when they bring the nigga out where he got to hit the foul shot, the three-pointer, and then the half court?
He missed the foul shot.
Nigga ain't making past the foul shot on 3 different occasions. Real shit. They booed the nigga back to his seat. It's hard to do that shit. So it's when you go and you watch a regular, we've been watching regular men's basketball since it came about. You know what I'm saying? Everybody here got a favorite player. Everybody parents. My favorite player ever is Kobe and fucking Dirk. Then you look at my dad. His favorite player ever is Dr. J. He has a picture of Dr. J on the mantle with all the pictures of us. Right. How you got all them statues. It's pictures on the joint. It's me, my Uncle Frankie, my sisters, Dr. J, my Aunt Aline. It's Dr. J is not in our family. That's his guy.
You respect the doctor in his house.
You respect the doctor in his house. Yo, you get into some trouble, get locked up. He moved Dr. J picture over your shit over to that. No. My grandfather, you ask him who the best player ever, he tell you the dip. That's Wilt Chamberlain. The dip. No rap. The dip. My dad is a big Wilt Chamberlain fan too, but Dr. J is guys you ask my dad who his favorite WNBA player, he's not gonna be able to tell you somebody. Marshall Warfield. Just anything.
The biggest problem with the WNBA is not the talent. It's not the talent. It's not the players. It's not the coaching. It's not the infrastructure. None of that. It's the fact that these same people that come online and cry that and state that these women should be paid the same amount as NBA players don't support the game. That's the fucking thing that's holding them back because it's just if every single woman that cries and complains, or some men too that cry and complain that these women should be paid the same type of money as NBA players, attended games with any type of regularity,
$15.
They could fix all of the fucking budgetary problems that they had because you sell more tickets, you sell more parking, you sell more merch. Hot dogs, more merch, you sell more everything. It's if they get a 15% uptick in business and economics, the Supermax could go from $246,000 a year to $500,000. And then so forth and so on. But it's y'all won't even take the first step of supporting a game, but you'll just, under the banner of women's rights and being progressive, y'all will complain and advocate on their behalf, even though you don't support them your goddamn self.
Right.
And that's what's fucking holding the league back.
I personally do think talent plays a little bit into it, just because on the flip side, the talent we see with the male, it's so.
Well, but men are bigger, faster, stronger.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not
or either that or they should lower the rims to 8 feet and just turn it into a motherfucking NBA Jam.
They've actually proposed that, lowering the rim to 9 feet, and it's just I'm not really with that either. I don't know what I'm with. in the short. You know what I'm saying?
So to wrap all of this up.
Wrap all of this up, I'm getting me and Kevin getting season tickets for the Sixers. Shit, that's what I got. You know what I'm saying? I think what it is the fact that, perfect example, right? Dan is our cameraman, right? We hired Dan because we have a relationship with him. He's passionate about it, and it makes sense. What did we do when we went to LA and Dan couldn't come? We hired Cora.
Yeah, we hired Cora.
Shout out Cora.
Yeah, shout out Cora. She's actually mentoring my brother. He's trying to get into photography. She's mentoring my brother's act.
Fantastic. Because y'all, and she's really good at what she does. She's phenomenal at sound, editing, all of that shit. But if I had to take Cora to the park, you know what I'm saying, and play 2-on-2 against like Damian Lillard and fucking, Nurkic, this shit gonna be a tough. I need a solid wing defender. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. It's like people will make it seem like it's one of those like hating on women or hating on, and it's like no. Get it, understand. Like a man and a woman could both be general managers of a company. Like how they got women now that are in the coaching staffs and locker rooms and doing trainer work, and this all of that is great. But at the end of the day, LeBron on a fast break is way different than Shamika Holsclaw on a fast break. They're just not even in the same realm of each other. And that's what you want to see. That's the reason we all walk around wearing Jordans. And that's the reason why we fucking cried when Kobe died, or why everybody had braids when Allen Iverson was fucking
got
popping.
Emotional attachment to the game.
And this shit is larger than life. And the NBA has, like, we all hate David Stern. David Stern really propelled the NBA into another fucking place. It really did. It's just what it is, and they're there now. So it's like, yo, you got these larger-than-life figures who are out of this world when it comes to talent, that when you see basketball in any other iteration, it almost doesn't make sense to your eyes. And I don't think that's hating or negative. I think that's just what it is. Like, think about when you go to a restaurant and you taste something from an immaculate chef. You go to the hood or go to the the bitch that's selling salmon.
You gotta pick all the parsley off of it.
You know what I'm saying? It's just that's
hit different.
It's just different. Yeah. Think about driving the Cullinan. You know what I'm saying? The Tiguan is nice until you drive the Cullinan. That's the truth. So, I just feel like the NBA, the people that are going out there, they're just astronomically talented. And, there's nothing that can. So when people say, oh, why don't the WNBA get the support? It's just like, man, y'all don't. Ain't nobody getting dunked on. Ain't nobody getting fucking embarrassed.
Ain't nobody getting crossed up, falling on the floor, nothing.
Oh, Sean Kemp dunked on the nigga and then pointed at the nigga with two shoe player.
Shaq fucking rolled off of the one nigga, dunked on Chris Dudley, and pushed his ass in the first row.
Chris Dudley got up and threw the ball at that nigga.
Patrick Ewing's ready to shoot Scottie Pippen.
Dog. And it's just, the talent level, there's nothing that can be compared to you just can't. You just really can't. So, while I might, like, Dawn Staley is a absolute goddess. Like, no bullshit. Me and my dad seen Dawn Staley in the airport, and, like, they had to stop me from being Joe, and they couldn't stop my dad. They, like, basically my mom and my sisters couldn't stop both of us. Yeah. So one of us was like, when they stopped me,
he got loose.
He had to lean. My father was right over. He walked, hey, Dawn. We was hype as shit. We seen Dawn Staley. I mean, not the airport. We was at Springfield, the shopping center down the street from the mall. Okay. My pop lost it at the airport. We seen Rick Mahorn. That was when he went crazy. Big Rick, what's up? But yeah, like, we seen Dawn Staley and we was both hype as shit. You know what I mean? And it's just, but again, Dawn Staley comes from that era of women's basketball where it was like you had
that was like the golden era of like women's basketball.
Think about how Cheryl Miller is looked at like a goddess, and we didn't even get to see Cheryl Miller really play because there was no WNBA. We just know she was the shit from whipping Reggie ass and destroying college the way she was doing it. Cheryl Miller stepped out of that. She was on Living Single. She was a broadcaster for the NBA, so it heightens your shit. Whereas like the NBA, the WNBA, they don't even have that. Where you have the out of the basketball arena shit. Again, Jordan with the Jordans.
Yeah, they had Skylar Diggins for a little bit. Then she married the bull, and then everybody was like, all right, that's enough of that.
Yo, Skylar Diggins was with The Rock, running around with rock chains and Rock Nation, all that shit. And it was like, oh shit, we got one. And like you said, it's fucked up, but it's just like, yo.
She got married, became a mom, and they was like, all right, who's next?
Yeah. But y'all don't have the off the court shit that the NBA has where you have like I said, Jordan with the sneaks. LeBron with building the school, Allen Iverson with what he brought. Like, Allen Iverson really changed the whole entire culture of what it meant to be an NBA player to the point where everybody, like niggas who didn't do anything, like Jermaine O'Neal showed up with braids and big ass earrings. You know what I'm saying? Because of AI. Like, AI really fucked the whole game up. Y'all don't have a person like that who's like, you know what y'all need? I'm going to keep it a buck. The WNBA needs a Sha'Carri Richardson.
I agree.
Real shit.
And I hate Sha'Carri because she's generally annoying.
Yeah.
But you need somebody that's gonna they need like a Floyd Mayweather.
You need a personality that's larger than the game.
Yeah,
that's what
even
you
if
need.
they lose, they still talk shit.
Sha'Carri Richardson gets smoked, and you want to see what she on. Yeah. She showed up at the last joint with a straight stripper outfit on. Like a blatant, that shit was fishnet everywhere. She actually won the joint. She raced in recently. And I said, I'm like, Sha'Carri Richardson, if she can build her shit up to where she actually wins, she gonna be the biggest star in female track and field history just because she's a personality and she lit already.
Everybody want to know what she gonna say.
Right. So it's like if you could pull off some FloJo shit and actually, that's what made Floyd Mayweather. He whipping ass and talking crazy and buying all this shit.
Yep. And then he whoop your ass, and then after the fight, he'd be like, I just want to say thank you to my opponent.
Yeah, he's a great, humble
He's
guy.
a humble champion.
Yeah, real shit.
He gave me a tough go around.
He's a tough competitor.
But that, to me, is what the WNBA needs. Y'all need figures who are larger than the game because the NBA has them. The NBA has had them forever. We got motherfuckers who we love that never won shit. A la Allen Iverson.
Charles Barkley.
Patrick Ewing. Reggie Miller is on there. Get ready for your Kodak moment. Every fucking game. Zion just got 200 after blowing through a sneak and playing 6 games. You understand what I'm saying?
Like, we got to pay him.
Because he larger than the game.
I asked for a trade 4 games into New Orleans.
Dog.
He said, this ain't going to work out.
Yeah, this gumbo is ruining my life.
There's way too many beignets floating around. I got to get up out of here.
I had a po' boy for breakfast. I got to get the fuck out of here. But that's what the NBA is missing. Figures who are larger than the game. Because what the WNBA or the women's arena had back in the day, Lisa, Leslie, they were bigger than the actual sport.
You had like 10 of them.
You had like 10, 12 of them.
Unfortunately, I think the game might have peaked too soon. But then you see now, like I said, on a college level, it's as big as it's ever been. Look at what Dawn Staley. Look at what Dawn Staley is doing on a collegiate level, to where it's like she went to that school and turned it into a powerhouse.
A powerhouse.
4 championships in a row.
Dog. She done took over what Gino was. Yep. Like real shit. But again, Dawn Staley larger than life. Yeah. Dawn Staley pull up Louis everything on the side. Like she know what she doing at all times. And like the
Prezion.
Dog, the new WNBA players, like there are none of them that are like name and face recognizable outside of, being on the court with their jersey on and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Like, so that's to me what they need. The WNBA needs a Queen Latifah, a Sha'Carri. Now, Queen Latifah didn't play no basketball, but that's what you need. You need a person who people can draw to and draw from.
Or a Joanna man. You need somebody. You need some middle of the road. You need some middle of the road NBAer.
Hey, listen, hear me out. Listen, Miles Bridges. Hey, listen.
It's your chance, brother.
It's your chance, bro. Change it. Yeah, Maisha Bridges.
It's your moment, my nigga.
Yo, Joanna Man, one of the craziest movies ever. That nigga joined the WNBA when he got kicked out of the league.
Ain't had no college transcripts or nothing. Just showed up.
Just showed up from the country.
Oh, it's open run?
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Dog, that's funny as shit. But yeah, that's what it's going to take for the WNBA to get there. Y'all need to really, really hone in on people who can be personalities that are larger than what's on the floor.
You got to do some star building.
Star building. Seriously. Yeah. And you look back on the NBA shit for like, think about Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq was a bona fide. Shaq was rapping with Biggie before any chips, any MVPs, all of that shit. Think about blue chips. Like how they built, like how they had people running down the street in Algiers, Louisiana, to get to where the fuck he was at, and then you see him just huffing on everybody playing basket. They had an inner tube as the rim. It's like shit like that, where it's like you build up the person before they. LeBron getting 90 mil before he walked on the court. Allen Iverson getting 50 before he walked on the court after coming from a 15-year jail sentence. Niggas be larger than the game before they. Zion blew through the sneak in fucking college. That's larger than the game type shit. Don't got nothing to do with what you do on the floor. Yeah. That's just a bonus.
My third suggestion is the young Muslim girl that got all the handles. They might just let her in the league right now.
Yeah, she was on the And1 documentary.
Yeah,
and
just let her in the league right now at 15. Just fuck it. Like, you don't got to go to college, none of that shit. Starting point guard for the New York Liberty.
When they showed her on the joint, I'm like, oh, that's the Allen Iverson joint they was calling. Yeah, like, that's what they was calling her, Allen Iverson and shit. And it's just like, yeah, like, but that's what you need. Somebody who's bigger than the actual on-floor shit. Where it's like, this is somebody we care about. Shit, I'll be honest with y'all. Teach Carisha and JT how to play basketball. That shit, the NBW, that'd be the most lit shit. That'd be the most lit shit ever.
Uzi and Diddy at half court.
Dog, that shit would be the most lit shit ever. But that's what you need. You need personalities, and that's what the the NBA has tenfold. Think about the NFL and when they like really blew the fuck up and became like America's thing. Like it was behind the names. It was behind the steel curtain. Mean Joe Green. That nigga's name was Mean Joe.
America's team.
You know what I'm saying? Like the whole 80s where you had niggas like LT. Lawrence Taylor saw the Suburban in half on fucking any given, so like you had niggas that was just large figures that it really don't even matter what I do on the fucking field or on the court.
It's like damn, then you good.
Then you great on top of it. That's what's up. But it's like, dog, Magic Johnson was Magic Johnson before he was Magic Johnson. He had already won high school. He had already won college. He came in and straight took them to the joint. Then he became freak ball, wild out Magic Johnson, and it takes his celebrity through the fucking roof. Yeah. So that's what the WNBA needs, in my opinion. But I got nothing else.
This was a great show, man. Again, anybody on Patreon, if you're having a little trouble migrating, man, you know, I'm going to put a post up on the Patreon.
Yeah.
Follow this path. Upgrade your tiers, man, so y'all get y'all content. Like I said.
Just hold it, Dan. We about to be done.
Yeah, we going to upgrading the tiers. We going to 5 shows a month on the middle tier, 10 shows a month on the VIP tier. So just be on the lookout for all the upcoming content throughout the month of July and then going forward. And then also we'll be announcing the VIP experience show for the end of this month. That's going to be dropping probably this week. Mm-hmm. We'll be dropping that information this week once we finalize all the rest of these details, and that's going to be that. Y'all know how our private shows are, man. You know, everything all inclusive. We're going to make that shit super dope. And this time we got hookah. So, yeah, man, as usual, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching. Everybody on YouTube, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Smash the like button. So, make sure y'all leave a comment so we can hit the algorithm and start, circulating some of this content. If y'all haven't yet, go watch the Tyron Barnes interview. Go watch the interview with Herm and Kev, the Life Hack episode, Barb interview, Ron interview, Roz interview, talking about, the keys of sports betting, DJ A Boogie, all these different, cool, super successful people that we've talked to, over the past few months, man. Make sure I check all of them Jones out, the tour interview. Make sure y'all check all of them Jones out, man. And, share the content, leave us some feedback. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Realest Podcast Ever. We out.